Hey there, it's your friend Stormy Warren here, and I want to invite you to my new home, the Big 615, exclusively on TuneIn. It's the official home of country music broadcasting live from Nashville to the world. Get the latest on country music, from your favorite artists to the hottest songs climbing up the charts. Oh, and it's commercial-free. Hear it all on the Stormy Warren Show, weekdays from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central. Download the free TuneIn app from the App Store. That's TuneIn. Or ask your device to play the Big 615 on TuneIn.
Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. You're going to want to check out this video on the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com. It's a 6-year-old kid from Canada. How about this? He crashes his BMX bike and face plants into the ground, but his reaction, pretty awesome. He just spits out some dirt, takes this like a champ, this kid.
Whoa. It was just dude stuff.
Okay, this kid's got a future of broken bones.
Yeah, he does.
Jackass, here's your next star.
Oh,
And once he's old enough, massive keggers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just doing dudes. I feel like he's going to be saying that for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Oh, and the kid's just got the dirt in the mouth and everything, but he's fine. Oh, look at him. Boom.
Can we hear that again? That was so great.
Yeah, this kid's awesome. And the video's on the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com, and the kid is awesome.
Whoa. It was just dude stuff.
I feel like that's what they've been saying all morning. Like,
yeah.
or that's just whenever he's around, like his brothers or his dad or his uncles are always like doing dumb things, going, "We're just doing dude stuff."
Yep.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What's next?
Yeah. Love that kid.
On to the next. What do you think he does, like, in his free time on the weekends?
Dude
Just jumps
stuff.
off trees.
Climbs on top of the house, just jumps off the top,
Yeah. Oh boy. Well,
lands on a mattress.
all right. There we go. This
Breaks
guy-
an ankle.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just dude stuff, BJ.
Dude stuff, man.
Yeah. I don't. So far, so good with this kid. You know, they have a little body where it bounces pretty good.
Poor mom. Enough
know.
with the dude stuff. Been to the ER 4 times this month.
Yeah, they would be if they would chronicle this kid's life. It would, like you said, Steve. It'd be interesting to see how many broken bones this kid has.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the documentary on this kid and just called Dude Stuff.
Jackass 5. It's coming out
Right.
in about 10 years.
And it's like all of his friends talking about all the crazy things they did because of their one buddy that just wanted to do dude stuff all the time.
Yeah, and this 6-year-old Canadian boy is a champ. We got to hear it one more time. The kid is amazing, riding his BMX bike, and he does a header and just head first into the ground.
Whoa. It was just dude stuff.
I think we have to save that. Every time we're idiots, I think we just got to say it's just dude stuff.
Yeah, whenever we do something dumb, it's just dude stuff.
That kid, all right, put him in there with the fried chicken kid. Put him in there with the...
I like turtles.
What, the corn kid in there as well? Do we have the corn kid?
Oh, gosh, the corn kid as well.
Got to
Yeah.
get the corn kid in there, and then the dude stuff kid.
They could be like their own little like posse.
Yeah. I mean, that's a threesome right there. They're your new 3 musketeers right there. Those 3. The chicken kid, the corn kid, and the dude stuff kid.
I mean, musketeers, idiots, you never know. Whatever
you want to call them.
Yeah.
They are the future of, I'd say America, but the kids from Canada. But, you know, The future
of Canada.
The future of North America.
He's the future Letterkenny.
That's exactly what he is.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit max.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Well, there's a new poll out telling you about the highly specific turnoffs that we would dump someone over.
Ooh. Turnoffs.
Yeah, so I guess, I mean, you've started a relationship with someone, and then all of a sudden these things pop up, and you're like, I'm done, I'm out.
I'm thinking stinky.
Yes.
Was that stinky, you said?
Stinky, yes. Not
Yeah.
stinky, sorry. It might sound like sticky, but stinky.
Yeah, there we go. Well, that's number one, sir, body odor.
Yeah. That's a tough one, especially for me because I don't have the best sense of smell. So if somebody stinks, that means they really stink.
Yeah, and especially if like you started dating them and they were fine, but then they were like, "Oh, I'm going to start using this natural deodorant or something." It's like, "Oh, come on."
Yeah, and it's like that natural deodorant just smells like patchouli over body odor.
Yeah, I'd have to break up with them.
I went out with a guy once who wouldn't use any kind of deodorant, but he used rock salt. He had like this rock salt thing, and he would just rub it under his arm, and apparently that was it. And the only reason I still hung out with him is because he looked like Dave Grohl. That's really the only reason why I continue to hit
Wow,
that.
a smelly Dave Grohl. I don't know if that's worth it.
But then we stopped seeing each other because he didn't like that I would hit him up for sex. I'm like, we are friends with benefits. How is that? You knew the arrangement. Why are you upset?
I'm not just a piece of meat.
Yeah,
Except-
I am. Listen, smelly Dave Grohl does not want to be used as a sex object.
But
He
with,
wants
like,
to be loved too, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to love on him, but
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
probably
good for
not
you
that
that you
kind.
get. I don't know if I could really smell somebody that and it wasn't pleasant. I don't know if I could love up on them. I think I'd be done. I mean, Steve, you know me. I mean, there are some friends in my life. Sometimes,
Yes.
we'll be around and of course we had that one person that worked at the.
Come on. Stop bringing up our poor intern.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was so bad.
I've had that happen in my life. It's just like, man, sometimes you have no control of it. Like I had to work with somebody that had that issue, but that person was, I couldn't do anything about them. Like I couldn't get rid of them. And so it was like, oh man, I don't want to have to go to meetings. I don't want to have to be around this person just because of my damn nose. But at least with our intern, it was like, I can do something about this and I shall.
You can permanently scar a poor kid who's just trying to make it into radio by telling him he stinks.
Yeah, well, and I guess in more ways than one. Hey, no, he was a great guy. How about this one? This one, I am surprised is at number 2. Like it's a number 2 deal breaker. And I wonder if it's because of the basically the anti-mansplaining movement that we've got going on now.
Know-it-alls?
Yeah, that's it. Number 2, if you're a know-it-all, no one or pretending to know stuff that you really don't know, that you're more knowledgeable about a subject than you're not.
Oh, well, that's different. Because to me, it's like if you are with somebody at lunch and they just sit there and tell you about something and you're literally looking it up on your phone and you're like, that's not right. Like, they're giving you false information. It's like you obviously are just trying to fill our conversation.
Oh, dude, sometimes I'm like talking to someone and like, they'll do that. And I'm like, that's not true. And they're like, no, of course it is. I'm like, no, I've experienced what you're talking about. I'm not trying to be like Mr. Know-It-All because I definitely am not. I don't know anything. But like there are certain things like I'm like, no, I mean, I've firsthand experienced that what you're saying is not true.
Yeah.
And they'd still like double or triple down. I'm like, you could just admit you're wrong.
Yeah.
And we can move on.
Oh, I've had that, but then like they got mad at me when they proved themselves wrong. They're like, well, I guess you're right. It's like, okay, like I don't care that much.
We had that sometimes with texters, and it's like they'll text in and be like, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, you send them the link to the story where it answers that, and they're like, oh, I guess you're right this time. And I'm like, you could just say my bad.
Yeah, that's all.
Like, everyone has a right to like get excited or say, oh no, this is wrong what you said. But if you provide the information that then says no, that's not the truth, and you get all pissy about it, you're like, I give up. I'm not dating you anymore, Texter.
It's over. That's it, Texter. This relationship is over. Number 3, being rude to waiters is a highly specific turnoff that, we dump someone over.
I mean, dude, that's just so stupid. Like, be cool. The person's just trying to do their job.
Yeah, I find that for me, the problem with me is that people think I'm rude because I'm just living in a place that my tone of voice is just not what the tone of voice is around these parts. You know, in Massachusetts, I'm not rude at all. I'm just me. But, in Seattle, when I first lived here, over 20 years ago, I mean, man, everyone said, you're rude, you're rude, you're rude. And I'm like, I really just feel like I'm being me. Okay. It was a hard adjustment to be called rude when you think, I don't know, I'm not like saying bad things about you, but your tone, you're so aggressive. And it's like, that's rude. Okay.
There's also a lot of times too where like I was with my mom over the holidays and she was being very rude to, and it wasn't a waiter, but it was like a store employee. Mm-hmm. And I go in and I listened to the conversation, and my mom was completely in the wrong, but she was just misunderstanding what the guy was saying. And I had to like pull my mom back and be like, no, you got to understand, you're just not hearing what he's saying. And I think that happens a lot more often than not. It's just like, the whole misunderstanding is off of one thing he said wrong that you didn't understand.
Danny, that's happened to me. Sarah has had to pull me aside and go, I don't think you're hearing what the dude's saying.
Right.
And so basically she translates for me, and I'm like, oh, is that what he's saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm like, dude, I am so sorry. I'm an idiot. I really thought you were saying something else. So that is, now that you're telling me your mom does that, is that an old age thing where we're just not hearing stuff anymore? Yeah. No.
Oh, I got one. I don't know if it's on the list. It's kind of oddly specific. I remember I was dating a girl. This was forever ago, and she had the best guy friend. And I don't have a problem if you're friends with someone of the opposite sex. Like, that doesn't bother me whatsoever. But this guy was very vocal and very clear that he wanted to date her.
Oh, right.
And it made it very awkward whenever we were all together because you could just tell he was like just burning a hole through my head. Like, the guy just hated me. It didn't matter because I was doing what he wanted to do, which was her. And I kept telling her, I'm like, I just don't like this guy. And she's like, well, he's so nice. You just don't understand. I'm like, no, I totally understand him. He wants to have sex with you. He wants to be in a relationship with you. And he makes it weird because he's not and we are. She's like, oh, I've told him that we're only going to be friends and that's it. And I'm like, well, and the fact that he still does this is crossing a boundary. You shouldn't be in a relationship. You shouldn't be a friend with him. You can't tell me who I could be friends with. Blah, blah, blah. Finally, I just gave up. I was like, I'm done. Like, I can't deal with this. Like, if you want to, I'm not doing it. It's either him or me. It's just not me. So deuces. Like, I was so sick of it. After a while, you're just like, at what point do you give up on like the fact that this girl doesn't want to be with you, but you keep telling her, and then you're telling her while she has a boyfriend? Go F yourself.
Yeah, and the idea, it sounded like she was in denial. If she said, I don't think you're right, but she didn't say that. She was like, oh, no, I told him and it's like, no, you can tell anybody you want, but how cruel are you to be friends with somebody who wants to bang you? I mean, and you don't realize that, it's like, this isn't cool. Sorry, we can't be friends because you don't know how to do that, sir.
She couldn't say, oh, Steve, you're just imagining that, because I wasn't. He was very vocal about it. It was like, it was so obvious. And it was just like, I remember looking at her family and they're all just kind of like, I'm like, am I the only one that thinks this is weird? And, they all just kind of had a blind eye to it. Like, it's just a weird friendship. I'm like, it's not a friendship. It's someone who's desperately pining for an opportunity to be with her.
This one, number 4, I don't know who. I mean, unless people just are oblivious to this. Living in filth. Boy, that's a turnoff for me.
What kind of filth? Are we talking like actual filth or being just dirty? Kidding.
Just like, I thought you were going to say the difference between disorganization and dirty.
Oh, yeah, pigsty.
Right. I don't mind if things are strewn about, like, because I get sometimes you're doing stuff, you don't have time to pick it up, whatever. But there's
what's strewing?
like just thrown about.
Yeah,
I've never heard that before.
Strewn about,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's an old school. That's an old school word.
I used a big word today. But when their toilets and everything are disgusting, no.
Yeah,
I told Ted I couldn't come over to his place until he started cleaning his toilets.
That's fair.
He has.
And he does. Okay,
Yes.
good.
I was dating a girl in college, and super hot. She had a nice room and everything, but then I went to the bathroom, and it was just like she probably hadn't cleaned that toilet in the entire time she lived there, and there was like stains and everything going on. And I was like,
no.
I could not. After that, I could not hang out with her anymore.
Yeah, it's a bad visual.
Yeah, it was like, or I was just like, you can only come over to my house. Like, we're not going to your apartment.
Or just go over there with one of those like little Clorox thingies.
Clean
and
it for her.
Yeah, like before we hang out, let me assess what's going on in there.
There have been times where I was very tempted to just clean the dude's house. It's like, can I just clean?
Aren't you the person though that says that you don't have any space on your bed because you have a lot of clothes and stuff, Vicky?
Yes.
Yeah, but it goes back and forth. I'll put all the clothes in the morning on the bed when I'm changing and then move it, but then it ends up there anyways. But
see, because if I came over and I was to Vicky's house and I'm like, there's no room for me on this bed, guys, I'm leaving.
If I have a gentleman coming over, I definitely move everything usually to the closet. Nobody goes in there.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I don't know if that's just a Marie Kondo offense. I don't know where that fits in. I don't see anything on here like being a hoarder. So maybe you're okay.
I'm a teeny tiny person with a king size bed. Why not? It's extra storage.
All right, there you go. Yeah, you're destined to live alone. You really have to.
Wow.
Thank you.
So
you have to make the adjustment. It's like you think that whole place is yours because, well, it is.
It is.
But eventually you're going to have to realize it's going to also be shared with somebody. It's a tough one.
Unless I end up with somebody and we buy like townhouses that are next to each other and we each get our own.
Okay.
A common door that leads to like a dining room or something.
There's got to be somebody out there like that who wants the same thing, Vicky. I'm not going to say no to that. You just got to find that magical person.
Well, when Joe and Vicky get married eventually,
there you go.
It's probably going to happen.
Yeah, you don't have to have separate beds. You just have separate houses.
Yeah, but it's connected, so we can have dinner together, right?
I really feel like you have that
Just
relationship
FaceTime.
right now. You might as well just get married. Yeah. I mean, the way you're talking, you two already have that relationship.
I mean, why wait? Just do it.
Yeah.
Are you going to pay for the wedding?
Oh, here we go. Jeez, does everybody want me to pay for weddings? What the hell?
Yes.
Getting wrecked over here.
Yeah, my wife and I are going to renew our vows. I was wondering if
yeah, really.
you could cover
that's the one good news about Joey Dees is I don't see him getting married anytime in the future, so I have some time to save some cash.
What's the cutoff again? You're 40?
When I'm 40. I just turned 33.
And Joe, so you would be what?
I'm 34.
So he'll be 41.
Why don't you just bump it up to like 35?
Oh,
no,
wow.
That was the deal. Dad's not even going to consider a wedding between these two until 40, like the deal said.
I think you guys should renegotiate.
Yeah, we'll need $20,000 for the wedding,
all right, Steve,
Joe?
you know what? You can be the money man.
BJ, I'm not even talking about paying for weddings or anything. I'm not even trying to get you under the bus for the wedding stuff. I just think they just do it and get married.
Oh no, Vicky wants me to pay for the wedding. That's a fact.
Yeah, the
Pay
wedding
for
will cost.
the wedding.
Yes, it'll cost me like $500 to get a wedding together, but I will need $20,000.
And then all of a sudden,
wedding.
you see us on Instagram. We're all in Ireland.
That's where I want the wedding.
In Ireland.
Yes. Sure.
Okay, another destination.
All right,
wedding.
wait till 40.
God.
I can't afford Ireland in a few years.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. If I can't afford to pay my bills, how am I going to afford attorneys and bankruptcy fees?
You know, one of the things people ask me all the time as a bankruptcy lawyer is that how am I going to pay all these fees and costs because I'm here because I can't afford to pay my bills. And of course, we understand that. I mean, being in the bankruptcy field. But you know, one of the things to remember is that if you decide, once you make the decision to file bankruptcy, you can stop paying on all of the creditors that are going to be included in the bankruptcy, and those are the funds that you can use that you have been paying your creditors to pay your attorney fees and court costs to get your case filed. And once your case is filed, you're not going to have most of those payments anymore.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Invest in your future on your schedule at Columbia College. Earn an accredited degree faster with 8-week classes starting 6 times a year. Go at your own pace as you build your future. Learn more at yourfuture.ccis.edu.
Hey, y'all, it's Garth. The Big 615. You're going to hear the newest that country music has to offer. At the same time, you're going to hear the newest that the country classics have to offer. I want to hear the new single from George Strait, and I want to hear it right beside the new single from Luke Combs. That's the thing we call the Big 615.
Download the free TuneIn app from the App Store. That's TuneIn. Or ask your device to play the Big 615 on TuneIn.
Dealing with an accident and injury claim can be overwhelming. Let Phillips Law Firm fight for you. We understand the pain and suffering, and we're here to guide you through. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today for a free case review, or visit justiceforyou.com and let Phillips Law Firm help you on the road to recovery.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
Let's play Beat Migs.
I will beat anyone that calls in to play the game. He's smarter than you. He'll make you look lame. 60 seconds on the clock. You're going down and I'm gonna rock. It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa, Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to be Migs? Yeah. I sure am, because we made it. It's Friday.
It's Friday. Hey, Daddy's jumping. Woo. Friday, getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Party. Yeah. Fun. Looking forward to the weekend.
I hope everyone has had a wonderful week and an even more amazing weekend. Let's get to our contestant today. We have Jonathan from SeaTac. Jonathan, are you there?
I'm trying to get him there, but my machine is not letting me get him.
I got him.
Jonathan.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we got him.
I'm Tim.
Hi, Jonathan. How you doing?
I'm good this morning, thank you.
Good. All right, Steve, now get out.
Let's go.
For those playing at home, Jonathan has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
No.
Oh, he is.
Are you ready now?
I am, yeah.
Okay, good. According to Google, what is the official flower of Mother's Day?
Daffodil.
No.
Tulip.
No.
Rose.
No.
Oh.
What is the name of Miley Cyrus's famous father?
Oh, Billy Ray.
Yes. Glaucoma affects what part of the body?
Eyes.
Yes. Dairy products are generally made from what common liquid?
Milk.
Yes. What famous cartoon mother is known for her tall blue hair?
Marge Simpson.
Yes. KY jelly was first used in what medical specialty?
Oh, my. Pass.
Okay. How many baby mamas does Robert De Niro have?
2, 3, 4.
4, yes. What continent did the ostrich originate from?
Africa.
Yes. The gallbladder is attached to which other organ?
Gallbladder. Liver.
Yes.
Spleen.
Liver. Oh. What kind of animal is Baloo from the Jungle Book?
Bear. Panther.
What was that?
A bear or a panther?
Well, you said bear first, so I'll give it to you.
Yeah, if you said it the other way around, you would have lost, my friend.
I love your accent, man.
Yeah.
You got 8 correct, too.
Not bad, Jonathan.
No, that's fabulous. Wow, I think Steve is going to lose again.
Oh.
Yeah, Steve, Sarah is already putting you down with an L.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Ouch is right.
Sorry, buddy.
Steve, are you ready?
All right.
According to Google, what is the official flower of Mother's Day?
A rose.
No.
Tulip.
No.
A dandelion.
No.
Yeah, that's
What
it.
is the name of Miley Cyrus's famous father?
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yes.
And his achy breaky heart.
Glaucoma affects which part of the body?
Eyes.
Yes. Dairy products are generally made from what common liquid?
Cow.
No.
Dairy product. Water.
No.
Milk.
Yes.
There you go.
What famous cartoon mother is known for her tall blue hair?
That would be Marge Simpson.
Yes.
Oh.
KY jelly was first used in what medical specialty?
Orthodontists.
No.
What medical specialty? Sutures.
No.
Surgery.
Yes.
Nice.
How many baby mamas does Robert De Niro have?
He has 3.
No.
4.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
What continent did the ostrich originate from?
I'm going to go Africa.
Yes. The gallbladder is attached to which other organ?
The liver.
Yes. What kind of animal is Baloo in the Jungle Book?
Gorilla.
No.
Oh, it's also Baloo, not Baloo.
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 Okay, what is it? If we say it right, Baloo.
Monkey.
No.
It's the bare necessities.
Well, Steve, you
Come
got
on,
8
Steve, get
correct
the bare.
as well, which is a tie.
Well, you didn't win.
But you didn't lose,
Yes.
so I was wrong.
Nice game, Jonathan.
KY jelly saved me.
Yes, it did.
Not the first time someone has said that.
No, not at all. All right.
Someone texted Steve, keep getting him right. Sounds like Sarah's about to have a happy moment.
I know it really does.
Well, some of them I'm so shocked that you get right. Like the organs and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't seem like the science whiz to me.
You
so.
know what? I can't argue with you on that.
Yeah. Like Marge Simpson, I was like, okay, if you didn't get that one right, that'd be embarrassing. But the other ones, I was like, what? Okay.
How about that, BJ?
According to Google, does anyone know the official flower of Mother's Day?
I don't.
Lily?
No, carnations.
Oh, that makes sense.
All right. And I think they're
each-
relatively cheap.
And who's getting their
don't know.
mom a dozen carnations, though? And shout out to Robert De Niro. I know that was the question. Congratulations to him for bringing his 7th child into the world at the age of like 70-something.
79.
79. He just had another kid.
It's insane. I think he beat Tony Randall. I think Tony Randall was like 77. I know a lot of people don't know Tony Randall, but he's from my generation, the old Odd Couple guy, and he was considered an old father when he had his last kid.
79.
That is
79
too
wins.
old.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
obviously the baby mom was much younger, I bet. But dang.
So here's the thing. I know you're Robert De Niro, but you still had sex with a 79-year-old dude.
It's Robert De Niro, though.
Yeah. So what?
It's the story.
He's as wrinkly as I am. From the face up, yeah, you can get work done. But I don't know. Can you get work done down there? It's still going to be an antique organ.
Well, everything smooths out when it's in a certain,
Okay, well,
Moment.
thank you for saying that. I want everyone to know that. Stop thinking it's so gross if anyone ever thinks at all that I might be romantic at some time in my
Yeah,
life.
but you're not like Robert De Niro.
Look at his picture of Robert De Niro right now. He looks like an old guy.
No, I'm not
Because
saying
he
he's...
is an old guy. He's 79 years old.
Sarah, I am not that old, and people look at me and get disgusted, and he's like 19 years
He's
on
Robert
me.
De Niro.
Yeah,
But
You're not
still-
Robert De Niro.
I know he's still an old guy. So what?
It was what was that one movie with him and Zac Efron, and they go and Aubrey Plaza's like, I just want to have sex with Robert De Niro, so I'm gonna have sex with Robert De
Yeah,
Niro.
Grandpa something.
So
or
what,
my
Aubrey?
dirty grandpa.
And I would say, Aubrey, why? He's an old man. I mean, he's still old man body.
I mean, it's still probably going to be kind of disgusting doing it with him, but then you'll just keep reminding yourself, it's Robert De Niro. It's Robert De Niro.
Yeah, but I
Like,
mean, it could be disgusting with someone that's in their 20s if in the eyes of somebody, but in the
Yeah,
eyes of the
true.
person that loves them, they see beauty in the wrinkles.
Oh, listen to the philosopher.
I
also-
know. It's about time you guys started paying attention to me.
He's
Oh,
also
my.
worth $500 million, and BJ Shea is only worth $700,000.
I went from 16 million to 700. It's because of all the surgery I've had done because I'm trying not to look like Robert De Niro.
I would have a baby with someone that old if they had that much bank.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That
yeah.
child support a month?
Yeah, I mean, I would put you down for it, but then I might get a little some of that.
79, do you really want to be chasing a kid around?
Well, he's not.
Yeah, he has people, Steve.
Yeah.
Someone just sitting by him at all times. Hey, my
Oh,
kid's
yeah.
crawling. Go get him. Bring him back to daddy.
Oh, yeah, he's got
Probably.
a retriever. He's got a retriever. Someone's job is I got to go chase Robert's kid. That's my job.
So how old is his wife? It's his girlfriend.
I would say she's probably mid-30s. Of course, with technology, she could be mid-40s.
Oh, is she a robot?
Well, I mean, like in your mid-40s, you can still have a kid. But I think in your mid-50s, I don't know if you can have a kid. That's really hard to do
also
and have
good
a
for
healthy
Robert
kid.
De Niro being able to still, get
so
it done.
She's 64.
I was about to say, yeah.
Is she's 64 and had a baby?
Tiffany Chen.
Yeah. She's 64?
Yeah.
How the hell did she do that? Did she have help?
Well, Robert De Niro.
You can have a baby at 64 unless she had a surrogate. I would like to know more about this. I don't think I've ever heard of a woman that old having a kid.
Yeah, now we need more information.
Yeah, wow.
Well, 64 is not that far off. I just assumed she was a young person. I mean, a 64-year-old with a 79-year-old, that makes sense.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on here.
64, she had a
That's
kid.
That's impressive if she carried
She's a martial artist.
Kid.
See, it's the martial arts keeps you young.
She's a martial artist?
Yep.
Tiffany, why would you want to at 64 have a baby? Aren't you done by then? I'm done, and I'm not even 64.
Who are you to tell her what she wants to do?
I'm not telling her. I'm really just trying to wonder why you'd want to at that age.
Maybe it was an accident.
That's an amazing accident.
I think it might be a different Tiffany Chen.
It has to be.
Because I'm looking it up and it says, well, I mean, she's the one that they're talking about. It says she's still 45. But
yeah, I saw a younger picture than that. I think you're right, Danny. It doesn't look like the picture Steve's showing me.
Yeah.
I can't believe you could have a baby at 64. I don't think I've ever heard of that. A woman having a kid at 64. Is that even possible?
Yeah, she's not that well known because it says Chen, who was first linked to Robert De Niro in 2021, is believed to be 45.
Okay, that's different.
There's not really a lot of information going on around here.
Well, he accidentally revealed it. Like, we didn't know anything about this till he revealed it.
He's like doing an interview, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you have 6 kids." He's like, "Actually, I have 7. Just had one." And the reporter's like, "Oh,
so it was really off the grid."
Yeah, totally off the grid.
Yeah, it wasn't like any kind of big announcement. He probably didn't want to deal with the headache of idiot morning radio shows questioning why he's having a kid.
Was that the audio we had from the other day?
Yeah, I think so. You had that audio?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can hear it.
Oh, is he talking about idiot morning shows in this audio?
Yes.
Yeah.
So listen, I know you have 6 kids, but have you?
I just had a baby.
7? Oh my goodness! Congratulations! I'm so sorry, Kate. 7.
Yeah, she's just like, wait a second, what?
Is she sorry that she didn't know, or is she sorry that he now has a kid at the age of 79?
Kind of sounded like both because she hesitated with that congratulations.
Oh, congratulations. Wait, what?
Yeah.
What you're an old man. You had another kid? How is that even possible? I thought that was just dust down there.
Wouldn't it be great if she was like, Robert, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Grandpa needs his meds again.
I wouldn't believe him. I go, no, you're just pulling my leg. You didn't have another kid.
That would actually be funny.
Yeah, I would be like, there's no way you had another kid. I mean, really? It's still, all that stuff works? I feel like the hydraulics still work. Congratulations. Is it yours? I would be
7 kids, too. And 4 different moms.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he's getting up there with Nick Cannon almost.
You know what? I don't care how much money you give me. I do not want to have another child. Oh. Like, if I had his money, I still would be like, what do I want another kid
You barely wanted your 2 kids.
Yeah.
I know, you're right.
You're still regretting it.
I really am. I mean, so man, all right, whatever, Robert. Congratulations. I mean, nature says you can do well. See, I don't know. I mean, I would like to know like how this all went down.
I believe sex was the first step.
Yeah.
You don't know. I wonder. I wonder if it was turkey baster because of the age of both of them.
Why? Oh, well, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it.
But what if she cheated and then he's just going to take the baby?
That's how it happened back in the old days.
Yeah.
And it's actually Nick Cannon's kid.
That very could be.
Let's
Danny,
put that rumor out
that
there.
very well could be. I mean, Nick Cannon just thinks about having a baby. Next thing you know, some woman gets pregnant. That's how that works.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit max.com.
.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Hey, you know that kid who's no longer a kid, Ralph Macchio?
Ah, the Karate Kid.
Yes.
He's now the Karate
old guy.
Middle-aged guy.
He was on Good Morning America yesterday, and he told a really cool story about when his son was little. And when his son was little, he discovered that his dad was famous.
My favorite story, and this is what's so wonderful about the Cobra Kai series now, because my kids that are now young adults champion the show and they watch it with their friends. But it's so fun because I talk about my son when he was about 5 years old. My mom must have sent over a bin full of teen magazines of whatever from back in the day. And he comes in the house, not knowing what's going on. He's like, wait, Dad was huge and we missed it.
Dude, he's 60.
Yeah.
I said middle age.
Yeah, I told you he's an old guy, buddy.
He does not look 60.
No. Well, thank you. I know everybody in my demographic does not look my age, and I look like I'm about, like Danny's mother thinks, 10 years older than I am.
If you said he was 50, I'd be like, yeah, all right.
60 years old. That's how long ago Karate Kid was what it was doing, man.
Yeah.
It's funny to me because, I didn't really know. I was never a big Karate Kid fan, but, I knew him because of The Outsiders.
Yes, he was great in The Outsiders.
It was fantastic, and it was and then when everyone was like Karate Kid, I was like, that's Johnny.
Yeah, it's insane. And it's the funny part is now watching Cobra Kai, and I love that series probably more than I ever loved the Karate Kid. I realized I had never watched some of the sequels because they flash back to some of the scenes from the movies that came out after the Karate Kid, and I'm like, yeah I don't remember that, but okay, I'm gonna have to go along with it because it's clear it happened.
Yeah, you and a lot of America probably don't remember that. Yeah, that is fantastic, man. When when your little kids find out that you were somebody, because they had no idea, and you're a nobody really to them until they. That's pretty.
And
awesome.
the crazy part is, it's not like he looks drastically different. Obviously, he looks like an older version of himself, but he still looks like Ralph Macchio from 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, and when he starts talking and everything, I would get that was who that was.
Yeah, I kind of got pissed when I heard his voice.
Oh, really?
Just because I don't like the character.
Right.
I have no issues with Ralph Macchio, but Daniel LaRussa, F him.
And how about that? How about that's what the greatness of Cobra Kai? Cobra Kai is that they've turned him around like that.
Yeah,
where you hate him.
Well, I don't really necessarily super hate him, but he's no Johnny.
No, he's not, and he's definitely at least for what I saw, I would have seen of Cobra Kai. He's become kind of a jerk.
No, he's been over the time. He's
have they made him a less of a jerk?
100%.
Okay, all right.
There's layers to Daniel LaRussa. BJ.
Oh, I had no idea.
You need to watch the show.
All right. Well, someday I will watch the show.
It's a great show.
Yeah, I mean, I know it is a good show. It's just that I never had a lot of love for it. But Ralph Macchio's kid, man, how about this? His little kid had no idea, and then turned out and tripped out like, I can't believe we missed Dad being huge.
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
So, he found out by seeing his father in old teen magazines, and that's how his son realized, wow, Dad, you were a thing. So based on this, we want to know, what is your parents' claim to fame? What is that one thing that you love to brag about when it comes to one of your parents?
My dad met Bowie, the mascot for the Kraken, signed Tatum and Lily.
Oh, how about that?
I didn't know that they're texting together these days.
Look at those two.
Yeah.
That's
Kids
a tandem.
Messenger, it's a thing.
They got a group chat going.
Yeah.
How cool is that for those two?
Daughters of the Rock. Is Sarah on this one as well?
I don't think you want Sarah to be involved with your children.
We blocked her,
yeah,
Steve.
That's a good call.
That's fair.
I'm not sure she's a good influence for your daughters. Yeah.
Dude, the one that I have, it started off as being an awesome thing to brag about. At least I did think that when I was a kid, and now it's been used against me on this show specifically, and that's that my mom once dated Marv Albert.
Yes!
And I thought, okay, now, after the fact of the scandal where he was known for wearing women's underwear and biting, who are we to shame him
I
for
like
that?
to bite and wear silky thongs.
Right.
Sue me.
Well, I'm not gonna. But before that, when he was the icon of sports reporters, you know what I mean? He was the ultimate, when you thought of legend, it was Marv Albert. And when I found that out, I was so proud of that. Never thinking that probably annoyed the living F out of my dad.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Could you imagine your kid going around bragging about a guy that his wife once dated and it's your son?
Yeah, that's.
I kind of owe my dad an apology.
You probably do, especially since now he's got to get DNA testing because how do you know, Steve, that you are not my son?
No. But that was my big, my dad did some cool stuff too. He apparently learned how to, he was I don't know if he learned how to play drums, but he definitely was under the learning tree of a great jazz drummer, Gene Krupa.
Okay.
And then my dad played with Frankie Avalon for a minute.
Sorry. Not as good as me and your mom.
Right. Which is also probably, my dad's probably I did some cool S, and all you care about is that your mom once dated Marv Albert. I'm your father.
That's right. That would irritate me. If I was your dad, it'd be another reason to go, this is why I really just this kid.
That's probably why he hated sports.
Yeah.
Don't blame him. I annoyed the living hell out of him that I was like a sports broadcasting nerd.
Yeah. And he's like, great, you're going into the same profession, which makes him wonder,
Roseanne, why does our son love sports?
I need a DNA test. Yes. It's a great claim to fame. I love that. I love that. And it, of course, gives us, a great joke. Let's go to Scott in Tacoma. Scott, you are on the rock. Hello, Scott.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning, Scott. How about you? Your parents, they have any claims to fame?
Yeah, my dad was on that old show, Rescue 911.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Did you watch that show, Steve?
We watched 911.
Oh, yeah. Well,
or is it Rescue 9? I don't even know.
That's the one where they would show reenactments, right?
Oh, yeah, we didn't watch that one.
Okay, so was your dad part of like a reenactment? Was he like a major player?
Yeah, he actually, he actually saved a lady, and then that got out, and then they had to do the reenactment with him involved in it and stuff. So
it was a real
like a reenactment.
And he was I didn't realize they did that sometimes. So he was involved in the real situation, and they used him in recreating that situation.
Yeah. So he was like, basically playing himself. Yeah.
I had no. For some reason I didn't know they did that.
William Shatner in it, man.
Yeah.
I can't believe you forgot the show, Steve.
I can't believe that you weren't on the show.
I can't believe I didn't even know about the show, Steve.
That was the one of me and my
That's
mom.
awesome, Scott. That's real. I honestly have seen, because sometimes I feel like in those reenactment shows there are very bad actors. Now I know why. It's maybe some of the people that were really involved, which is so funny that they don't even they can't even act like the thing that they did. That's really wow. That's cool though. That's a good claim to fame.
I'm going to say my mom dated Jerry Cantrell back in the day when they went to Spanaway Lake High School.
Oh, that's a good claim to fame, too.
Nice.
Yeah. I bet there's a lot of that around here. When you think about it, for all the musicians and everything, back when, before they got to be famous, I bet there was a lot of, young romance.
High school dating.
Yeah.
Oh, this person's, I don't know if you're allowed to say this, but they said my dad worked at Disneyland and he played Mickey Mouse.
Ooh.
Or is he a friend of Mickey?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you're supposed to say?
I feel sorry because now they're going to go find your father.
Your dad's also probably really short.
Yeah, he's costumes.
No. Usually it's women that play Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse because the costumes are so short. So.
Oh, look at that little pro insider.
Yeah. Sorry, no offense to your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Maybe this guy's had some issues with his height his whole life. Or maybe he grew up and then they got rid of him because he was too tall for the outfit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe a growth spurt.
Maybe he was an Oompa Loompa or a lollipop kid, And maybe this guy just, could play all those roles. You never know. I mean, but we only know about the Minnie Mouse thing.
I'm curious about your son, because even some people texted in saying, does BJ's kids do not have anything to say about dad?
Well, I see Joey raising his hand. Sarah is not impressed with anything that I do. So,
Fair.
Yeah, so she's not going to say anything.
The topic's not what embarrasses you about you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she's got plenty of those stories.
A lot of those stories. But no, actually, this story came at a Magic the Gathering tournament. After about a year of living in Seattle, I think I was about 13 years old, I had all these friends playing Magic and stuff, and out of the blue one day, one of them walks up to BJ and goes, "Hey, are you happen to be BJ Shea?" And this was before the internet and everything. And BJ's like, "Yeah, I'm on the radio." And I didn't think anything of it, but this dude starts freaking out. And then about half the Magic players just stop playing the tournament to talk to BJ. And I'm just like, "Hey, Dad, why does everyone really like you?"
I was like, son,
son, someone likes me.
13 years of this business. I can't blame Joey D's because every job that I'd had, nobody knew me or cared, and I had no success. So he was not used to somebody actually caring about my broadcast career.
And everyone hated your Magic the Gathering playing. You just pissed people off.
Thank you.
Sounds about on par for BJ,
yeah. And who followed in my footsteps, though? Young Joey D's, because you also pissed a lot of people off.
I did.
There you go. Like father, like son. Yeah, that was the time where I finally got a little respect out of Joe. Because I couldn't do anything to get Joe to think I was anything.
Right.
He's like, he didn't care. He's like, I don't care who you are, what you think you are. But then finally he's like, wow, okay, I guess some people kind of know you.
Oh, someone said my dad got into a fight with a snowman one time. Signed, Sarah. Thanks for texting in, Sarah.
Yeah. You know what? It's you guys are an audience of two. Congratulations.
That made my morning.
There you go. Yeah.
Someone said my dad was in the Boy Scouts with Ted Bundy.
Oh, that is a story. Wow. Yeah, man. Imagine that you know somebody that turns out to be like Gary Ridgway or something like that. That is trippy.
Yeah, another one. My mom met Ted Bundy and lived to tell the story.
Damn.
You forget that Ted Bundy was local because it was a UW, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Seattle area. I did the Lake Sammamish stuff. Yeah.
Do you feel like you're not special if you did survive a Ted Bundy?
Wow.
Like, why wasn't I good enough for him to want to take out?
Okay.
That's like a weird episode of South Park that you ever saw.
I would be. It's like a Costanza moment, though. I'd be like, why wasn't I special enough? The guy didn't want to take a shovel to me. Like, I'd be saying that if I knew Gary Ridgway. Why wasn't I special enough? No.
I don't know. I feel like most people are like, I dodged a bullet, not thinking, man,
I
would
take it personally.
Why wasn't I selected?
Yeah, I would feel like, man, you know what? I guess I wasn't special enough. I didn't pass whatever test it needed to be passed.
Only you.
Only me. Yeah.
I don't know anyone else is thinking that. Like, man, what could have been?
What could have been? Oh, my life. It is. We're asking the question about the one thing that you love to brag about when it comes to one of your parents.
My mom was Chris Cornell's babysitter. Her family lived a few blocks from is in North Seattle. My mom and my aunt had a crush on him when they attended a private Catholic grade school.
I wonder if at any time babysitting, if he started belting out songs. Just like, because kids will sing stuff, and could you tell at a young age that he had pipes? Because, of course, he was a tremendous singer. Like
he was very shy from what I heard when he was younger, though. Like, where you're not talking to people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder if the babysitter was able to break through. Because sometimes, like a random kind stranger can, bring you out, Yeah. So I wonder if they, I'd love to hear from the babysitter to go, did you have any clue at all the kid had talent?
So my mom once told me she went to prom with her cousin. I think his name was BJ.
Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, okay. That's great. You know what? Again, the audience of Danny. That's all you need.
That's all I care about.
You want to make Danny laugh, just do Snowman and the prom thing.
That's all that matters, man.
If you're just tuning in, you go, it makes no sense. Yeah, it makes no sense to me either. Danny laughs at the dumbest things.
No, the greatest things.
Yeah.
Ted Bundy, or as they texted, I love autocorrect. Ted Buddy. I don't know if he was a buddy.
Oh, see, now, Ted Buddy was a great guy.
Ted Bundy was a friend of my mom's and in our house many times. That had to be such a trip.
That is so weird, man.
Well, it's even like watching all the Dahmer stuff recently. Like there was they interview some of his neighbors, and it's just like he just seemed like a normal guy. Like he wasn't. We didn't suspect a lot of stuff from him, and it's like, how do you? Wow.
Especially with all that smell. Like, how do you not just assume something's going on in there?
Well, a lot of people just don't keep their house clean these days, Vicky.
Yeah, we can even people that says my mom worked with Gary Ridgway.
Damn.
Hey, we do too.
Yeah.
Hey. Every morning.
That's it. I mean, that's the thing. I have to say, I have met many people in my life that if you said that, do you think they fit the serial killer stereotype? Because I watched that documentary, Dexter, and I'd be like, I knew a lot of people like that. A lot of people who are very quiet and would bring in donuts. I mean, we've had a lot of people in the engineering department over the years in radio who were very quiet and brought in donuts, and that was Dexter's MO. He wanted to fit in while he was basically Bay Harbor butchering everybody.
So he just brought donuts in?
That's what he would do in the Miami Police Department. He'd wrap up people in cellophane, kill them, and then the next day he would bring in donuts and go, hey, guys, and they all loved Dexter for it, even though he was off. I mean, he was out of his mind. He was a weird dude on the show.
What kind of donuts was he bringing in?
He brought the variety pack.
So he brought the one with the pink with the sprinkles. Then you know what? I'm going to look the other way.
Yeah, you got to look the other way. Here's the problem. He ended up, spoiler alert, a lot of guys had donuts. A lot of them got killed by Dexter when they got too close to him, when they found out the truth.
Remember, my grandmother was Ted Bundy's babysitter to him and his little sister. Okay. My mom used to hang out with him when they were kids.
All right, so grandma, she's in trouble because she should have spotted it right off the bat when the little kid was doing weird stuff with dolls.
Dang.
Because I feel like, right, don't you think Ted Bundy was doing weird stuff with dolls before? Like, there were headless dolls around the house or something like that. There had to be something. There had to be a sign, people, is all I'm saying.
I don't know.
You see that. You see, when you see a kid doing weird stuff with, toys, you go, why'd you take that, stuffed animal and burn it? What are you doing?
Yeah, but I had the Kiss action figures. I wanted to know what they look like without makeup, so I took a nail file thing and just filed off the makeup off of his face.
I rest my case.
I've never done that to a human.
No, as far as we know, that's what they all say, Steve. Come on, I've never done that to a living human thing.
Yeah, I made Paul Stanley look like a poor burn victim. I'm like, that doesn't look probably like him. And I cut his hair.
Yeah, don't forget you urinated in a suit of armor.
Yeah, look how I turned out.
I rest my case.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How much does bankruptcy cost?
Usually with my office, we do a flat fee that includes all your court costs, filing fees, credit counseling, credit reports in one cost. In Chapter 13 cases, that usually starts at about $900. With Chapter 7 cases, so total costs, including all your court costs, attorney fees, is usually about $1,500. We offer payment plans on Chapter 7, so you can start a file with my office for as little as $200. You can send your creditor calls to us. We'll take your creditor calls while you gather up your information and make payments on the rest of the fees. With Chapter 13 cases, we can make payment arrangements in most cases as well and get your case filed even sooner in a Chapter 13 case because of the reorganization aspect to it.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Invest in your future at Columbia College. Take that next step toward the career you've been dreaming of. From a leader in online learning for over 20 years, make a difference in your future with a degree from Columbia College. Learn more at yourfuture.ccis.edu.
Hey there, it's your friend Stormy Warren here, and I want to invite you to my new home, the Big 615, exclusively on TuneIn. It's the official home of country music broadcasting live from Nashville to the world. Get the latest on country music, from your favorite artists to the hottest songs climbing up the charts. Oh, and it's commercial free. Hear it all on the Stormy Warren Show, weekdays from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central. Download the free TuneIn app from the App Store. That's TuneIn. Or ask your device to play the Big 615 on TuneIn.
Have you or a loved one been injured in an accident? Are you struggling to recover fair compensation? Look no further. At Phillips Law Firm, the experienced personal injury attorneys will fight for your rights and get you the justice and compensation you deserve. They handle a wide range of cases, including car accidents, slip and falls, medical malpractice, and workplace injuries. Justice is a phone call away, so don't wait. Call today for a free case review. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Well, Loudwire has put together a list of the best grunge albums of all time. Now, I just want to warn Loudwire that Rolling Stone put together a list of the best singers, and Celine Dion wasn't on the list, and I guess a bunch of people went to the Rolling Stone offices and protested, and I'm like, you guys have time to do this?
Well, you know, some people work from home, and they just want to get outside, maybe touch some grass, and
that could
Rolling
be
Stone's offices was right across the street, so killed two birds with one stone.
Yeah, that
is pretty sad.
That cracked me up when I don't know, it was hundreds or thousands. I don't know how many people went outside the Rolling Stone offices when I'm like, dude, it's just a list put out by a bunch of people. Who cares?
Do you think even Celine Dion sees that story and goes, "Wow, my fans are losers"?
Yeah,
like I would.
I would be
like, thanks. The sentiment's nice. Yeah. Online petition, relatively low amount of work.
Yeah,
showing up to somebody's office to disrupt their day. Yeah, I'm rich as F. I'm okay. I'm Celine Dion. I'm all right. Don't worry about it, guys.
So I'm wondering, if anyone is going to go to Loudwire and protest the fact that, the album they think is the best grunge album of all time is at number one. Like, will they go and go, no way, this should be number... No, we don't. Usually, we don't care.
Man.
Enough to go protest at office.
I am looking at the list.
Okay, so you see all number one all the way down to number 15, the top 15.
Yeah, and honestly, I am pretty impressed with this list. Like, there might be a couple that I'll switch over to this way or that way, but for the most part, I feel like they really, they nailed it.
Nice.
Yeah, I will give you a clue. I'll give everybody a clue. Number 3. Somebody continues to harp on me about this album, number 3.
Oh, Chumbawamba.
Yeah, Chumbawamba. Some people think that number 3. I would think that one person in the studio thinks that number 3 should be number 1 just because of the fact that I haven't listened to this album in its entirety.
You know what's funny? I wouldn't even put it at number 1.
What?
Wow.
And yet you still want me to listen to this album in its entirety, even though you know it's not the number 1 grunge album in your mind.
Well, it's one of my favorite albums of all time, and you suck as a human for not listening to it.
There we go.
Besides that.
So does Stone Gossard, apparently, because he hasn't listened to it in its entirety either.
Stone and I need to have a chat at some point. He doesn't return my tweets.
Don't blame him.
The first 4, I feel like you could interchange, and I think a lot of people would have a good argument for any of those 4.
Okay. All right. So
Pearl Jam's 10, obviously, you're saying is number 3.
Yeah, 10 is number 3.
I have a guess at number 1.
All right. You know what, Danny? Go for it.
And just because I didn't grow up in the grunge scene, but it was just the first album that I really fell in love with, which was Nirvana's Nevermind.
Yeah, and that would be my guess for number 1.
And it's not.
And it is not.
Interesting.
It is. No. But you're not far off.
See, that's the one where I think I would, even though it's not, it's such a weird thing to say because it's when I even think it, I'm like, this is such a stupid. And I wouldn't pick it as my favorite grunge record of all time.
Sure,
but I would say that it should be number 1 as the number 1 grunge record of all time. I know that makes no sense, but like I'm thinking as on the whole, what the impact that it had, how it changed the game for everything. That's to me is what makes it the greatest grunge record of all time. But it's not my favorite of all the grunge records.
Makes sense 100%. And for me, that's the same reason that I thought is because like I wasn't into the grunge scene, but I loved that album. Whereas like the other ones, the different bands that were around the same time, I just didn't fall in love with them the way I did that album.
This is what, when you do a list, you just don't know the criteria. And that's the problem is that, Steve, I think you pretty much said it. Iconically, Nevermind is iconically got to be considered the best grunge record of all time.
Yes.
Yeah. But, quality-wise, well, you would know better than me, I suppose, if we got down to the dirt of it. Hey, because that's the number 1.
Honestly, that's the one I would go with.
Yeah. Alice in Chains, Dirt, number 1 grunge record of all time. And look, you can't argue with it. It definitely deserves to be in the top 3 probably, but again, what's the criteria? Everyone knows Nevermind. Everybody just knows Nevermind.
Everybody knows Dirt is what. Dirt was a game changer. It was a massive record for Allison. It was a massive record just for rock music.
I guess what I mean is that even people that don't know much about music and know Nevermind probably over Dirt.
Yeah,
that's why I said iconically.
Yeah, I'd be interested to find out because I do think that it Smells Like Teen Spirit. You're right.
The album cover, all of that. That's the only reason I put it, but not quality-wise, just iconically.
Yeah, I feel like if I debate you, I'm just arguing for arguing's sakes at that point. Because you're right. I mean, but for me, there's not a darker, more powerful record than that Alice in Chains record. That record is so. The first time I heard it, and I still listen to that record to this day. Whereas Nevermind. Every once in a while, maybe like once a year, I'll be like, I haven't listened to all of Nevermind. Like you hear the songs on the radio, which are quite a bit, but I'm just like, I haven't listened to some of the other cuts. And there's some, and I'm like, and then I'll be reminded, I'm like, oh man, Drain You, what a great song, or oh man, this song, Whereas Dirt by Alice in Chains was just like, that to me is just a masterpiece.
And then, of course, like we said, Pearl Jam's 10 at number 3. Super Unknown, Soundgarden in at number 4.
Which I don't disagree with. Although I like Bad Motorfinger more, which is kind of funny. Like here again. But Super Unknown was like their big record that kind of made them the rock stars that they are. And that's the big 4. Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Soundgarden, and Pearl Jam. Of course they should be the first 4.
But here's the thing, when you talk about the best grunge.
Are we talking about the best breasts?
Yeah, the best breasts of all time.
Oh, then it's easily Chris from Nirvana.
So if we believe that this list of the best grunge albums of all time, here they are, then you look at the top 5, there is one of those, like those the big 4 you talked about, Steve, one repeated, which means if you had 2 in the top 5, does that kind of make you the best grunge band of all time? That my brain, because a statty guy like I am.
Yeah.
Because okay, so we know Alice in Chains, we know Nirvana, we know Pearl Jam, we know Soundgarden. Those were the top 4 bands that had the best grunge album of all time. Number 5 is one of those bands. So let me just ask you, Danny, Vicky, if you want. So who do you think would come in at number 5? So basically, they're the first repeater. Which means they had an album that was amazing that it got to be like, another one in the top 5, which would mean, what band do you think that would have done that? Because they all came out with other albums, obviously. Who would you guess?
I'd have to guess. I'd probably have to guess Soundgarden.
Ooh, I'm sorry you're wrong, sir.
So wrong.
Yeah.
Couldn't be wronger.
Couldn't be wronger.
You had a 1 out of 4 guess.
So, Vicky, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, or Pearl Jam, who would you think that they would say the 5th best album by that band? Who would it be?
I'm going to have to say Nirvana.
Oh, you are so wrong.
Oh, man.
In Utero, good record.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one I'm guessing you would go with.
Well,
or Bleach.
Not far off. In Utero was number 6. And Danny Soundgarden came in at number 7 with Bad Motorfinger. So
here's the funny part. I think most of this list, at least the top 15 or top 20, are going to be those 4 bands and all of their records.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Because Nirvana's Bleach is also on there at 11.
Yeah. So Versus from Pearl Jam came in at number 5.
Which I agree 100%. Like I go back and forth between Versus being my favorite Pearl Jam record or 10.
Oh, wow. Which one should I listen in its entirety? Should I go with Versus for? Wouldn't it be great if I did that just to piss you off?
Listen to 10 first. Yeah. I feel like you got to listen to 10 first and then appreciate Versus.
Yeah, which I really think. What I think is, Temple of the Dog did make number 9,
which features members of Pearl Jam and Soundgarden.
Yeah, and Alice in Chains came in at number 8 with Facelift.
Yep.
Purple from STP finally they hit the list at number 10.
Which is funny because of the 15, the only non-Seattle or Seattle-based band is Stone Temple Pilots, which at the time when their first record came out, everyone was like, "You're a wannabe Seattle band."
Oh, look at that!
Just because they had like that, especially on Core, it had like I don't think he sounded like Eddie, but some people were comparing him to Eddie because of a little bit of a lower voice on the register and just the way that the band sounded, but. It's kind of interesting that they are considered in the top 15 when they're the only non-Seattle band.
You know what's interesting that I was just thinking about too? It's like Pearl Jam, to me, being like outside of Seattle around that time and not really into the grunge scene, I think that for me growing up, it was like Pearl Jam defined grunge for me as a person. Like when I thought of grunge music, it was like Pearl Jam. And not that I didn't think Nirvana, but Nirvana kind of like smashed so many like barriers that, you have a lot of people like NoFX and Green Day who credit them as the person who brought punk rock to it. And it's like, so maybe that's why for me, it's like, Pearl Jam is the epitome of grunge. Whereas Nirvana, yes, of course they started a movement, but it was almost like bigger than that.
That's a good point because like Nirvana's music sometimes, I mean, it always had like a grunge vibe, but like it also had a power pop, a punk rock. It had like, an indie rock vibe. Like it had a little bit of everything. Whereas the time, like, especially Alice in Chains and Soundgarden too, like they were so sludgy.
Yeah.
And Nirvana's music wasn't.
Right.
Maybe In Utero had a little bit more of that kind of like darkness to it, but like, Nevermind was, really like lyrically not, but like it was a bouncy sounding record.
It was. This is a crappy list. There's no fighting.
That's what I'm saying.
It's such a crappy list. But they did such a bad job putting out a list that we don't fight over.
That's funny. Taylor's just calling in right now to even talk about Stone Temple Pilots.
Taylor, you're on the rock.
Hey, yes. I guess I was calling in while you were perhaps mentioning this band, but I was a little taken aback that STP wasn't in the top bands because they were huge for me.
Yeah, and maybe that was bad on me. They came in at number 10, STP, with Purple.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa! That's low.
Really? All right, so who do you think they should be above? They had Dirt, Nevermind, 10, Super Unknown, and Versus in the top 5. Do you think Purple should have, got one of those out?
Yes.
Really?
I think
what would you kick out?
I'd kick out
Pearl
Taylor
Jam.
for that opinion.
Pearl Jam.
Wow. That's crazy talk.
Wait. So
I love STP. Don't get me wrong. I'm a former band member,
of course.
But even as a former band member, I would not put them in the top 5.
Oh.
All right.
Doesn't mean I don't like them. Taylor, we'll be okay.
You stabbed the guy.
We can have differing opinions.
You broke his heart. You're killing him. Yeah, sorry,
I'm happy
Taylor.
that Mudhoney was put in this and given a nod.
Yeah,
because they deserve to, because they had such a huge imprint on the sound before a lot of these bands even were around.
Mother Love Bone was also made the list. Hole made the list at number 12.
Screaming Trees, deservingly so.
This. Yeah, Sweet Oblivion. So that pretty much rounds out your top 15. And for the most part, we don't have any disagreements.
That's the weird part. Like, I think we could argue where certain albums should go, but I don't think any of these are not deserving.
Yeah, we've got
what a great time for music. I know I'm like
it's like a 6-year period. As I'm looking at this, 1989 is the oldest album with Bleach, and 1994 Purple is the latest album. Everything else falls in between those years with this list. So it's like that's just a snapshot of that time.
If I could, I know we talk about go back in time. I would have, that would have been amazing to be living in Seattle during that time.
Oh, yeah.
A, it would be much more affordable. But also on top of it, who cares about the music? I'd be able to live in downtown Seattle.
But even and that's in so many different ways, too. Like being able to go down to, I don't remember, what was it called? The off-ramp back then? And seeing, all these bands and they're, and that happened to me in the punk scene, too. Seeing a lot of those bands just before they blew up and, for $5.
The idea of seeing Nirvana play at, the Crocodile would be just insane.
Yeah.
I want to put this out there because
time machines, yes.
Yeah, time machine. Well, this is what I don't understand. And maybe somebody can explain this because it's such a great music scene, which means such a great vibe, really cool collaborative people. And then I look at Portland that hates Seattle so much. And I can't understand why, because of a time like that. You know what I mean? It's like, but why? Because Portlanders do hate Seattleites a lot for so many unknown reasons. And I'm like, how far back does that go? Because you think of
they're the little brother that never could get to that level.
You think that's really what it is?
Honestly, I bet during that time, though, it was a lot less of that. Maybe it was like a friendly rivalry. Sure. But I feel like a lot of those bands were going back and forth. Like, you'd play with the bands that were making it in Portland, and they would come up here. I don't think there was that kind of I think that's more of from the soccer rivalry and then basketball as well. I don't know if it was ever a music rivalry between Seattle and Portland. I think it was a lot more of a collaborative kind of vibe.
I'd love to,
because you want to play shows in both places. So you can't be douches to the people in Portland.
And through the years, I think that obviously as the both cities, I mean, because Portland still is a bigger city, compared to
Albuquerque.
Yeah. But it's one of those but as both cities have grown up, I think that just has amplified of oh, we hate Portland, oh, we hate Seattle. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I still have friends who are in bands who go down to Portland and play pretty regularly.
Well, I will say this, Danny. I think it's one way. I don't know if Seattleites hate Portlanders, but I mean, I am told.
In the soccer world, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Well, soccer is soccer. I mean, sports are sports. I mean, if you're really, I think if you're a really true rooter, supporter, whatever, just look, I'm a Red Sox fan. And yes, I don't hate Yankee fans. Some of the greatest conversations I've ever had are with Yankee fans.
Sure.
So if you're that kind of douche where you literally do hate somebody because of that, well, I don't know what to tell you.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit max.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Forbes, that's a professional organization over there. Forbes, all about money and stuff.
Never heard of them.
Oh, that's probably why. They're all about money and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're professional.
Hey, I got to have money to be able to read Forbes, I guess.
That's what it is. But they did put out a list, and they said, okay, folks, here's what we want to ask you, and that's what they based this list is based on, asking people the main reason why they left their job. Is this a list we needed? That's why I'm going to just say this right now. Did somebody get paid to actually go out and do this? And when I think right now, all of us could probably come up with the top 5 reasons without even having to talk to anybody.
Nobody shows up with donuts on Fridays.
That's the one. Number 1 on the list is number.
I'm not asking every day.
Yeah.
I just think on Fridays we should have pastries.
Do miss those days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least a working vending machine.
Well, now a vending machine.
Just period. Yeah.
We should leave.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
In.
Let's go. What, Danny, here's what I want to say. We had a big meeting with the gigantic boss of the company. Why didn't somebody bring up the vending? Because they said they opened it up to the floor. They asked everybody, why didn't we go, where's our vending machine and our donuts?
I might have an accident in my pants because they always set up anything is on
the table.
Yeah, nothing is off limits. You should feel comfortable saying whatever you want, which is always no, I shouldn't feel comfortable saying whatever I want to say because I can get you in trouble. But man, if somebody would have said, yes, big boss, we would like a vending machine.
Yeah.
I would start crying.
I would laugh my butt off. And you know what? I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? That's not going to be me anymore. We got to let the young kids, got to let the Vickies and the Dannys of the world do it.
We got to hype them up and be like, dude, this is your first time going to a meeting with the big boss. He loves questions.
He
loves being challenged.
Yeah, that's a good question, by the way. He would want to fix it. He probably isn't aware of it. He's the big boss. He doesn't know we don't have a vending machine.
And in all fairness, maybe he does love being challenged. I'm just not the one that's going to challenge him.
Yeah, there's no winner.
Yeah, if I don't have a singlet on, I'm not challenging anybody.
That would be amazing.
Shocker, though, vending machine or bringing in donuts not in the top 5. So maybe you two shouldn't be the one we talk about, but let's see if Vicky can pick one of the top 5.
Isn't the phrase, it's something like, people don't quit bad jobs, they quit bad managers, so maybe because of their boss or manager?
You know what? I'll tell you this, Vicky. Nothing to do with management in this top 5 list of why people left their jobs, at least in the survey that Forbes did.
I think you gave us a clue with the Forbes part. It's probably about money.
There we go.
Why would you think that?
I did give you a clue.
Yeah.
You guys, I try to help you with these. You know, I mean, I'm like Ken Jennings it for you guys. I give you a little bit of a little meta clue, but Dan at least picked up on it.
Yeah.
All right, so number 1, seeking higher pay. Pretty much half the people said I left to make more money, which is interesting. Because I had heard, at least with millennials and Gen Zs, it's not about the money. But eventually, as you get older in life, I don't care who you are, it eventually does become about
when
the
you
money.
have a kid or a family, or you live in the Pacific Northwest where mortgage and rent is ridiculous, it does become about the money. You got to live.
Money.
Groceries are expensive.
Money can't buy happiness, but it sure can pay the rent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And buy those damn organic vegetables your wife likes buying.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. You know what? She's on that kick, too, just like my wife.
Well, I don't know if it's a kick. It's just a way of life now. Yeah, it's always been that way.
Oh, you know what?
She's always going with the organic ones.
There's a great Penn and
Is
Teller.
organic French for expensive? I'm just confused.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a Penn and Teller show on Showtime, and I forget what the name of it was. I think it was a bad word.
Was it the BS one?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Penn and Teller BS. And I don't know if they just did it for show, but they did a whole thing about organic versus just regular vegetables.
Yeah.
It was a great thing just because they basically proved my wife wrong, and I always love shows like that to give me ammo. But I don't know how true it is, but it's so ridiculous that supposedly the thing that is really the best for you is the most expensive, and then, the stuff that isn't the best for you that usually comes boxed by some sort of confectionery company is the cheapest.
The problem is that like most vegetables, whether they're organic or just the fresh vegetables, are just expensive no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, I remember, I'm old enough to remember, Steve, that vegetables were cheaper than like Twinkies.
Right.
I mean, it was
not anymore.
You couldn't get your parents to buy those Hostess cakes because they go, look, what do you think? I'm made of money? I don't got the money for that.
Yeah, if you want to fix the obesity problem, make vegetables and healthy stuff cheaper than the unhealthy stuff.
Look at Steve Migs running for something. That's the platform we all need to vote for. So seeking higher pay, number 1 reason why people leave their job. Number 2 is reasonable. And it is definitely talking about, in a way, money, because this helps you save money. Depending on how good this is for you. Ooh, there's a clue. Well, what can a job give you that you have to spend money on, but they help out?
401. 401k?
Well, that's saving money for down the road. But what do you spend money on? You go, boy, I hope the job can give me this particular thing so I don't have to spend so much money on this.
Stocks?
Okay, no, you guys are missing it. It's not about saving
coworkers
money.
that ask really weird questions that we don't have answers to.
Well, I mean, there's 2 things you look for in a job. How much will you pay and...
Vacation.
Benefits.
Okay.
Benefits.
There we go.
Yep.
There we go.
Oh.
Yeah. See, because you like medical benefits, you got to pay, and they help you with that if they give you a good benefits package. That is like almost half the people, same thing. They left because they wanted better benefits, which, man, I will say, you got a benefit package. That does put you head and shoulders above anybody else, even to the point where it might save you money to take less money because the benefit package is even better. So and it's tough to figure that out sometimes until you're really in a company. I don't know how to figure that out. If there's a way to know like how good your benefits are, like how good is the insurance company or whatever, that they're going to hook you up with. And you don't find that out till you walk into a doctor's office and they go,
right.
Oh, this is your medical? God, this sucks.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, your insurance doesn't cover any of it. I'm like, well, why do I have insurance?
Oh, I hate that so much. I know. Don't get me started.
Yeah, you go on like the thing. Oh, no, yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'm like, this is one of our preferred providers. And then you go there and you're like, what did I save? $3?
Yeah. Yeah, who prefers you? I don't.
Right. My wallet doesn't prefer you.
So the next three in the top five, I think, are basically all covered when it comes to money. And to me, it's almost redundant. Insufficient raises, which is kind of like, isn't that why you're seeking higher pay? Because you're not getting enough raises?
Yeah, but you know, like people like they would always be like, oh, you get that like cost of living increase, and sometimes it's like just like a meager amount, and people are like, what the hell, like. That didn't help my cost of living. My rent went up, but my pay didn't.
Well, and at that point, too, raises to me also makes it seem like you're doing a good job. So if you're not getting raises on a semi-normal basis, it's kind of one of those like, am I actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing?
Or in situations, I hear a lot of people complain about how somebody leaves and they have to do their job on top of it. And they still get paid the same amount. It's like I'm doing two people's jobs, but I'm only getting paid for one. How's that fair?
I know it's such BS. It really, really is. And cost of living, that's something you should get every year. I know the companies can't do that, but it's so ridiculous to think that, look, if you're making money, company, I should be able to get a cost of living increase. Just, I'm not asking for more money so I can be richer and buy nicer things. I just want to be able to afford last year the same way now. That's all I want to do. What I did last year, I just want to be able to do it this year. And you can't when inflation keeps going up or whatever. You can't. And I look at companies and go, I don't understand. You should go out of business then, right? Apparently you suck at managing. Get the hell out. If you can't keep up with the cost of living, then you're not doing your job. Because I'm doing my job, because apparently, you know what, the Cogswell cogs and the Spacely sprockets, I'm still putting them out for you. So what do you want from me?
That'd be great if you go into a meeting with like the head muckety mucks demanding more money and you start referencing the Jetsons.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Because, we're talking about the future, Steve.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And they're like, open up your briefcase, get your little spaceship, and leave.
Rosie needs a lot of motor oil, okay? Rosie needs WD-40. I need to be able to make some more coin here.
What do you have Rosie doing if she needs all that oil?
Well, I don't want to bring it up, Jane, his wife. How about needs not being met by your pay?
Rent, groceries.
Well, yes. So that's what I thought it meant. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like
they basically came up with 5 different ways to say you want more money.
Now, number 5, look, I'm going to be honest, doesn't mean anything to me because I've never had to go through this, at least not as much as some other people have, and that's pay inequality. 39% of the people say they leave a company because they just don't think it's fair pay. Mm-hmm. I've never had to deal with that. So I can't really comment on that. I've never had to walk in and go, hey, I don't think you're paying me fairly compared to what other people are doing. I've never felt that at a job. But I know many people do. So I get that that's a legitimate reason.
Yeah, you find out you're doing the same exact job as someone else, but because of whatever reason, a gender or whatever, a race, and then all of a sudden you're finding out you're getting less, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one because if you're in a performance-based industry like us, it's really hard to do that because obviously if, Station A is getting higher ratings than Station B, you can't expect to make the same amount of money as that person doing the same job you are because that station's bringing in more money. And that's, you get your money based on the performance you do.
And a lot of times, it's easy for me to say, but for me, I've always just focused on I just want to make enough that makes me happy. I don't think about what everyone else is being made because if you do, you could go crazy. But if I was cool with whatever you offered me, and I was like, that's a fair amount, and I'm happy with that, and then you find out someone's doing something similar but getting more, that's why I don't want to know. I just rather know, I'm happy with this amount. That's all I care about. And if I'm not happy, then there'll be an issue, but it's not because of what someone else is making. But again, it's easy for me to say, but that's always been my mentality.
Yeah, I've been in that situation, Steve, and it sucks. Somebody told me one time what somebody was making when I was working, 30 years ago in this business, and somebody said, "Hey, do you know what this person's making?" And you're right. As soon as you found out,
it changes everything.
But here, and they deserved it though. I mean, they really, really did. I was not the star of the show, and I sure as hell wasn't there for all the years that the star of the show was there doing what they were doing. They deserved every penny they were getting. But you're right. As soon as you find out and you're living your life, and maybe you're trying to go, and then you just get bitter. You just get bitter.
And try telling that to somebody who's young and not understanding that the other person probably deserved it better. It's like you can't even get past that part in your brain of being like, yeah, but still, I need the money.
Yeah, and that's, I think, Danny, because of the unfairness. Yeah. When I started, the world wasn't as unfair as it is today. And that's the big conversation I have with anybody in my generation who goes, these kids, why are they complaining? I go, dude, the world was not as unfair as it is today when it comes to certain things. And that is like money. It's just the world's very unfair compared to when I started out. And that's why, Danny, some young people go, I don't care. F you. You're so unfair to me. Why do I got to be reasonable?
It's crazy to think when I first came out here, you work a minimum wage paying job, and you were still able to not find a great place to stay, but you still live in a decent enough apartment, and then if you have a roommate, then you could do okay, good enough.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine when you look at some of the prices of rent, I'm doing the math. I'm you need multiple minimum wage paying jobs. You have to work around the clock just to be able to have a place with a roof over your head.
Heck, you even need multiple jobs when you have a nice paying job these days, sometimes.
For real.
Yeah, it's apartments used to be a great solution for somebody that couldn't afford a house. That is no longer true.
No.
Because
a decent
rents,
apartment.
Yeah, because rents are ridiculous. Mortgages are ridiculous. A place like New York City, I remember somebody telling me it takes me an hour to get to work, it's an hour commute. And I'm like, whoa. But then again, that was New York City. It made sense to me. That was a gigantic city. Of course, it's going to be expensive. And now here in Seattle, people, if you really, really want to, try to get something affordable, you kind of got to get close to getting an hour out of Seattle.
No, I'm 40-something minutes out of Seattle without traffic, of course.
And you're not entry level guy.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's entry level.
I'm more like an outry level.
Yeah, you're next level. That's what we call you, next level. But imagine being entry level anything and having to work in the city, work in Seattle. Hell, I bet even working in Tacoma, it's still no picnic. You know what I mean? As far as having to make things go on. It's just, and that is just I look at society, the leaders, and go, you failed because it shouldn't be like this. I get things go up and prices go up, but it's the other stuff compensation should match that, and it's not. So somebody's effed up, and it's probably Oprah, because I like to blame her for everything. So I'm going to say it's Oprah. Yeah, it's probably
Oprah. Do all that just to have your propaganda against Oprah.
There we go. You know it.
I'm on to you.
I'm not always hating on The Rock. I spread it around, and I find all these people that have no reason for me to be upset with them, and I get upset with them.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's another question from a listener. I'm getting my wages garnished. Can bankruptcy help with that?
Absolutely. One of the big reasons people file bankruptcy is because they have a judgment or a lawsuit against them, or their wages are getting garnished, and so they can't pay their other regular ongoing bills. People sometimes think that you can't file bankruptcy once they have a judgment against them or once a garnishment has started, and that's not true. Filing bankruptcy will immediately stop any garnishment that you have going, except for child support, and stop your creditors from continuing on with garnishments of your bank accounts, your wages, and in most cases will discharge that liability through the bankruptcy process. And we can file a bankruptcy case for you usually the day you come in.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Invest in your future at Columbia College. Take that next step toward the career you've been dreaming of. From a leader in online learning for over 20 years, make a difference in your future with a degree from Columbia College. Learn more at yourfuture.ccis.edu.
Hey y'all, it's Garth. I love the country music family. I love the country music family of artists and the country music family of songs. Some of the greatest artists to ever grace music are under the flag of country music. And some of the greatest songs in music history are under the flag of country music. The Big 615, you're going to hear the newest that country music has to offer. At the same time, you're going to hear the newest that the country classics have to offer. I want to hear the new single from George Strait, and I want to hear it right beside the new single from Luke Combs. And I think the country music family is one of those families that is very inclusive and wants both the established artists and the new artists to be side by side in this thing we call country music.
Download the TuneIn app from the App Store. That's TuneIn. And by the way, yes, it's free. You can also ask your device to play the Big 615 on TuneIn.
Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
Let's play Beat Migs.
I will beat anyone that calls in to play the game. He's smarter than you. He'll make you look lame. 60 seconds on the clock. You're going down and I'm gonna rock. It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs. Don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Migs. You're a loser.
Who's ready to be Migs? Hope everyone has had the best week ever and even a more amazing weekend. Let's get to our contestant, shall we?
Yeah.
We got Adam is from Shelton. Adam, are you there?
I am. Good morning, Sarah and everybody else.
Good morning.
Yeah,
All right,
Adam.
Steve, now get out.
Goodbye.
For those playing at home, Adam has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
I think so.
You got it. A physician who's an expert in the care of your heart and blood vessels is called a what?
Cardiologist.
Yes. How many NBA teams are there currently?
32.
No.
33.
No.
34.
No. What 60s year did the Beatles release their album Abbey Road?
62, 63, 64.
No. What country is known as the Emerald Isle?
Ireland.
Yes. How many children does Charlie Sheen have?
3, 4, 5.
5, yes. What does the T stand for in the organization PETA?
Pass.
Who played Aaron Green in the comedy Get Him to the Greek?
Russell Brand.
No.
Pass.
What European country is known as the hexagon?
Turkey.
No.
Spain.
No.
France.
Yes. Which country on the sitcom Friends once got their head stuck in a turkey?
Joey.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with that, you got 5 correct.
Such a Mr. Bean ripoff as far as I'm concerned.
Is it?
Yes.
I didn't even know because you're old, so I don't get that.
Mr. Bean's the guy that did the head turkey thing. And Friends, just like such a terrific.
What if it was just an homage? Calm down, old
Ripped
man.
off Seinfeld, ripped off Mr. Bean. Not an original bone in Fred's body.
Sure. Steve, are you ready?
Oh, yeah!
A physician who's an expert in the care of your heart and blood vessels is called a what?
A physician.
Nice work.
A cardiologist.
Yes.
Nice.
How many NBA teams are there currently?
32?
No.
30.
Yes.
Wow.
What 60s
Nice pause.
year did the Beatles release their album Abbey Road?
What 60s year?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 64.
No.
63.
No.
62.
No.
Oh.
What country is known as the Emerald Isle?
69.
Nice, yes.
Damn it.
What country is known as the Emerald Isle?
Country. I'm going to go with France.
No.
Italy.
No.
Germany.
No. How many children does Charlie Sheen have?
He's got 4.
No.
3.
No.
2.
No.
Oh.
What does the T stand for in the organization PETA?
Treatment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who played Aaron Green in the comedy Get Him to the Greek?
Oh, crap. Is that Jonah Hill?
Yes.
Nice.
What European country is known as the hexagon?
France.
Yes.
Nice.
Which country on the sitcom Friends once got their head stuck in a turkey?
Matthew Perry.
No.
Sorry about that.
5 correct, and that is a tie.
Oh, yeah. Nice work, Adam. All right, there you go. Nice
He's in
highway.
a wind tunnel right now.
Nice
Jeez.
freeway, Adam.
Was it the other guy, right?
It was Joey.
Joey. Yeah, that would be my next guess.
He's most likely to get his head stuck in a turkey.
And before any texters come and complain about that question, Monica did put the turkey on her head, but it was not stuck. She did it to make Chandler laugh.
Thank you for the clarification.
Because I know it was going to come.
No, she's right. Because I actually thought it was Monica that did it. I don't remember Joey doing it. I remember Monica putting her turkey on it. So thanks for bringing that up.
Oh, yeah.
I thought both of them had it on.
It was on the same episode. They did a flashback, and then Chandler gets mad at Monica, so she puts it on to make him laugh.
Aha.
And it worked.
And it wasn't stuck, though.
But it wasn't stuck.
Oh, yeah.
You did there are 30 NBA teams currently.
Yes. Yeah, once I guessed, I was going to say 31. I'm like, it's not 31. So I just stuck with 30.
Yeah, you just paused, and it got you the question right. And 69, you eventually got that. That's why I didn't do mid or late, because I thought you would have guessed that.
No, you're absolutely right. That's a failure on my part.
Sure is.
And the Emerald Isle is Ireland.
It's the green island. Man.
Adam got that correct.
I thought for sure you had that.
Damn it.
How many children does Charlie Sheen have? Y'all
6?
danced all around 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
5. And then you got the rest correct.
Good job,
But
Steve.
that was a tie, so
yeah,
kind of congratulations.
I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them.
That's how he got 5 kids.
5 times, unprotected. Yeah.
You got to watch how you bang those rocks. So there is a new study that's out, and it produced a list of the most common everyday dramas that we all endure.
Everyday drama.
Okay. Everyday drama. I have to tell you, I think that when they call it everyday dramas, that's a lot. It's just like stuff we
go through. It's a little
through.
dramatic.
Yeah, yeah. It's really just stuff we go through.
This was number 1.
Yeah, coming up with lists that are a little overly dramatic.
Yeah, there you go. We're going to give them that. So basically, yeah, these are the. I just did number 2 yesterday, as a matter of fact. While I was on this fine show.
I hope you wiped.
Okay, so that's really what I'm doing on my phone. I'm sending those pictures to people.
Fair.
Yeah, Danny, you should get them soon.
Oh, great.
Everyday drama. Trying to figure out what the hell to watch at the end of the night.
Ooh. Never a problem for me.
Well, yeah, because you got like a list of 50 billion shows.
I really do. If you could see what I have.
And you kind of like watch these by yourself, so you don't have to like have that like debate with like your significant other. Like, do you want to watch this? No. Okay, how about this? No. Okay, how about this? I give up. Here's the controller.
See, and I was thinking this along the same lines, figuring out what to eat for dinner.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's part of it, but these are not dramas, but burning food while cooking. That's the everyday drama you have to endure.
I saw something like you do to yourself. It sounds like more than
again, what you have to endure, like everyday drama. Yeah, see, dramas is the wrong word. I would say calamities. How's that?
Trying to fold laundry, and as you're trying to fold it, the damn sock flew over the damn washing machine. Now it's in the back, and it's a pain in the ass to get it. It's oddly specific, but that happened to me. Like,
yeah, it's very specific.
There's like 7 socks in the back, and I'm just too lazy. I got to get one of those little like hand grabber things.
Dollar
those
store,
I
my
have
friend.
one of those. Those are great.
Yeah,
Dollar store has them.
Those grabbers are awesome. They have magnet on. They have a magnet on at the end of it too. I mean, you can get anything you want.
Yeah, I don't need a magnet for this.
No, not for this, but it's all purpose. What if
that's fair.
What if you drop metal behind there?
That's a good point.
Yeah, man. That's not on the list. I can't believe it's not on the list. Number 2 for me was spilling something on my clothing, which I did yesterday.
Yeah, you do that almost every day.
All the time.
It happens to me a lot just because I'm like, sometimes I'm just eating or drinking coffee in the car and hit like a little speed bump, and all of a sudden, whoop, there's coffee now on my shirt.
It was so bad. I had 2 Chinese. I had some Chinese food. I had 2 pieces of fried rice that were dried and stuck to my shirt all day. I didn't even realize.
That's amazing.
It was.
Did you at least have a patterned shirt on so no one noticed?
Well, I don't. It was. It was on my T-shirt, which was solid color, so somebody should have noticed, and like including my wife, but she said nothing.
And she probably liked making you look silly.
Yeah, I'm walking around. Hey, what's going on? I'm like, I'm going to finally see myself in the mirror, and it's like, what?
It's like when I was meeting up with Danny. I did not put my jersey on until I parked. I'm like, I am not driving with like, a drink, coffee or whatever it is, and wearing a white jersey.
Yeah, that white jersey is scary.
Yeah, and then when I was even though I wasn't eating on the way home, I took the jersey off. I'm like, God forbid there's some kind of like ketchup stain on my seatbelt. Mm-hmm. I don't want to even risk it.
Yep.
I wouldn't even, but see, I wouldn't survive the game because I always get treats and snacks at the game, and that shirt would be destroyed.
I was a little nervous eating my meatball sub.
Well, the meatball sub especially because it has the red sauce. But I was even worried for you with the pretzel, even though it was dry. He got no cheese or anything with it.
No,
but I was just like, I bet you there's like some kind of butter on this or something.
Yeah.
And I do like to slather the pretzel on my body before I eat it.
I'm gonna make an executive decision. This list is crap.
Okay, well, what else is on this list that makes it crap?
Well, no, but I mean, I could tell just by our conversation. Like we're not picking anything at all anywhere near this list. because the list is just ridiculous. I think because nobody, you guys, there's no dramas. I feel like this list is just dumb.
Well, but again, you said dramas, and see, I think you're spilling.
Well, then I turned it to calamity.
Well,
and even then, it's like I don't think people just. I don't know who
got a good one. Okay,
yeah,
trying to get my 7-year-old and 4-year-old ready for bed.
That is a drama.
Yeah, that's not on the list. I feel like that should be on the list.
That was me last night because my wife she's coaching at CrossFit and she was asked she was filling in. So it was like a 6:30 class. So she's like, okay, can you just get Tatum ready? That way when I get home at 7:30, we're good to go for story time and get her into, so can you get her into pajamas and all that? I'm like, sure. She comes home and I don't have matching pajamas on her and she's got one wrong slipper on. And my wife's like, what, how do you like that? No, she wanted to wear a Mickey Mouse top and a Paw Patrol bottom. And she wanted a Minnie Mouse slipper and an Elsa slipper. So we made it all work.
The only person that's going to see her is the Sandman. You're good.
I thought it looked adorable, but my wife thought, she's like, what in the hell is she wearing right there?
That's a great look. I mean, she knew that, okay, mommy likes it when I wear the same outfit.
Yeah.
But I got daddy now. So daddy's a little bit like, daddy's crazy. Daddy's going to let me do a little
crazy. You
crazy.
don't like it? Don't coach at night. That is a problem solved.
There we go.
It wasn't really anything massive.
I was going to say, like, she's modeling after Uncle Danny with the 2 different shoes.
Yep.
That's where she gets it.
Yep. And one has like an actual like bottom to it and the other one doesn't. So she's like walking with a limp as we're playing.
That's fantastic. Awesome. By the way, that's not on the list. So far, everything that you have problems with in life, not on the list. And that's why I say I think this list, this is just like stuff that maybe it's, the daddy's right, maybe it's just you, like being stuck in traffic. But
see, those to me are like minor inconveniences you have to deal with every day. If you put it that way, I think maybe.
All right. Name the top 10 minor inconveniences that you have to deal with every day.
Stupid traffic light not turning green when there's no cars going in any other. Every morning now on Shaw Road, there's this one light that just stays red to the point where you're like, all right, I'm just going to blow this red light. And all of us do it because it's like, why? Come on, red light by the Safeway. Let's turn green for a change.
Okay, listen. If you're trying to win the contest, like in Family Feud, you are losing badly because they're not going to know yours. Yeah. It's not like the people in this survey are going to go, what bothers Steve every day? The sock, the not matching pajamas, and the light at Shaw Road. Yes. Those will not be on the Family Feud friggin' answers.
All right, just on lights in general. We could keep it broad.
Being stuck in traffic, spilling something on your clothing. I'm telling you, these are dumb.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. Hey, you got something to say? I got something to say. They're wild, rabid, and on the loose. This is Listeners on the Loose.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose, where, hey, this is your opportunity. Call us, 206-803-ROCK. And you can also text us, 206-803-ROCK. How cool is that? It is easy. A brand new number.
One number.
One number is all. One number to find them all. 206-803-ROCK. But remember, you still have to follow Steve's rule.
And that's to show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, we're going to have to gong you. And then say goodbye.
Goodbye, old friend.
206-803-ROCK. Let's go to Chris in Portland. Chris, you are on The Rock. You listening on the Odyssey app?
BJ Shea.
Who cares?
Who cares? And don't forget, whether you're in Portland, Poughkeepsie, it doesn't matter. AUDACY Odyssey. What do you got for us, buddy?
Yes, sir. I am on the Odyssey app. Since I moved down here, that's my option. I've been listening to you for 20 years.
Whoa!
Love you guys. So, you guys in your top 10, what is it, turnoffs, I think?
Yeah, for like if you're basically ending a relationship, dumping someone, here are the turnoffs that make you go, I got to end this relationship. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this wasn't about ending a relationship, but like you guys talked about the cleaning of toilets, living in filth and stuff like that.
That was a big one. If somebody was very filthy, you're like, you know what? I don't care how hot you are. Yeah. I said, Danny, get out. I can't do it.
So my wife and I recently moved into this house, and the landlord didn't get the house cleaned before we moved in.
Oh, and, really? Oh, that's not cool.
And there were those. It wasn't. So there was those like add-on bidets on the toilets. And I don't dislike bidets per se, but the add-on bidets, they raise the seat like 4 inches, and that's too much. I can't do my morning movement if I'm not seated properly. So anyway,
have you thought about getting a squatty potty so that'll bring your legs up as well?
I did think about that, but the one bathroom is just too cramped, and I'm 6'4".
Yeah,
I want this conversation in my life.
Well, your son put it through.
So anyway,
thank you, Joe.
So the landlord agreed to allow us to remove the bidets, and I provide my own toilet seats to replace them. And so I removed the one bidet in the master bedroom, and there is this spot that's like probably 4 square inches underneath the bidet that had fecal matter caked.
Okay. At some point, what is I was just going to say,
Joe,
that's got to go. That's, what?
And what was he calling about? I thought it was about dating turnoffs.
I know, right?
How did we end up with a bidet in an apartment?
Yeah.
Chris was from Portland, told me he loves strip clubs because I love Portland for the same reason.
And so then he's like, I got something completely ridiculous to share. And you're like, I don't care. Sure. You like Portland and strip clubs.
He mentioned something about moving into a new house with his, I thought he said ex-wife because the top 10 list was his wife didn't like clean or wanted clean bathrooms.
What?
These went off the rails, guys.
Danny, after the show, please tell Joey D's that being a phone screener doesn't mean you bro down and talk about all the things you like. You try to prepare the caller for to being on the air. Would you help out Joey D's with
Joe, you're doing a great job.
Oh, no, stop. Do not be good cop, bad cop here. We're out this.
Don't listen to your father. He's got high expectations because he's like, when that kid plays Little League and the dad's the coach, and that kid, no matter how hard he tries, he's just not good enough because dad doesn't want to show favoritism. Joe, you shouldn't be playing Little League.
He is
back to T-ball league. Back to T-ball league.
He is a fan of the show, so been listening for 20
Joe?
years. Yeah, the dude that called.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't want to bag on him too much, but that conversation, I mean, I'm like, if you're at a party and somebody busts out that conversation, you might have to pull your buddy aside and go, yeah, look, let's just shorten the story a little bit and not talk about the fecal matter as much as you were doing.
I would have already been playing on my phone by that point.
Yeah, you would have been done.
Or what my mom does. My mom would always, she was the best. She would like, if a story's going too long, she would just out and out just say to the person, P.S., and that was like her way of being like...
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's like, P.S., like, okay, this story's going too long. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, you know what? Your mom is an all-star. I am going to remember that. That's fantastic. Oh, I love
as
that.
a kid being like, wow,
that's
Mom.
so good.
Just savage.
That's what it is, man. You need people like that. Look, I want people like that too, because sometimes I need PSing, and sometimes you don't know.
You need a little app that plays like the orchestra music at like the Academy Awards.
Oh, like the walk-off music, the wrap-up music.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I have no idea what was going on with that.
I'm really afraid because we have another caller that Joey D's has screened. Steve, are you all in?
Let's ask them if they felt they had a mutual bond over strip clubs in Portland. And if they haven't, then I think we're okay.
That's the first thing. This is Bob. He's in Lakewood. 206-803-ROCK. That's the number to call or text us for listeners on the loose. Bob in Lakewood, you're on the Rock.
Thank you. I'm just a big, ugly guy that has no self-esteem, and I was wondering, how do you build self-esteem if you're ugly?
I don't know. Let me know when you figure it out.
Wow.
I have no idea either.
Yeah, you really called the right show, but that doesn't mean we know how to do it.
We're the most self-deprecating group of people.
Yeah, I mean...
Just listen to us. You'll feel better about yourself. That's about as good as it's going to get from us.
Steve and I, that's the one award we won in all of broadcasting, the ugliest show in broadcasting. Otherwise, but... I guess the only bit of advice I have for you is the cool thing about, I mean, I can only speak to heterosexual women because those are the only women I've had, contact with. I don't know about anybody else. But
you make them sound like they're aliens, BJ. I've had contact with heterosexual women.
Well, I don't know about other, basically other sexual orientations or gender identities, how they are, but heterosexual women seem to be forgiving of ugliness more so than, and more so than I think heterosexual men are forgiving of ugliness. Because otherwise I don't think I'd be married. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody would have picked me if they went just on looks. So I suppose if you find something that you really think you're good at, and then in every situation go, I'm good at this, so I bring that level of confidence, that helps with self-esteem. Just basically having some self-confidence, people respond to you better if you're more confident in yourself. And the way to get that way is just to go, I'm good at A, B, and C, so let me just know that I bring that to the world. Because not everybody's great at everything. Everyone's self-conscious about something. Even attractive people think, well, I'm stupid, or I don't know how to do this. So that's the only advice I got for you, Rob, trying to be as serious as possible. But really, Steve is right. We do not know what it's like to basically have overcome ugliness. I think you don't, do you?
I have friends that are just unapologetically confident, and I'm like, I don't even know. And I'm like, that good for you. I'm not here to burst your bubble, but that's amazing. Yeah, I think, BJ, you hit on it. If you find even little things that make you feel confident from certain types of clothes or way you groom your hair, your facial hair, whatever it may be. If it's get those little victories going first and then just let it build from there.
Yeah, dressing well is good. I have heard that,
But dressing well if what you're comfortable in. Don't try and dress like something that you're not, because then you're going to feel, I've tried that, and then it just feels awkward. Find the things that you feel comfortable in and dial those in first.
Yeah, Rob, hopefully this is helpful, because, look, you sound like a good dude. You listen to our show, so you got great taste. That's the first victory. You got great taste. How's that? You got great taste. And, I will say this.
Oh, someone said, good point. Get into radio, just like us idiots.
Well, you know what? There's a lot more video in radio now, Steve. It's really unfortunate. You kind of got to look a little. I remember some of the guys that we used to, when I went to the morning show convention when it started over 30 years ago, Steve, I am telling you, there were people that you could tell did not have to worry about their appearance. They knew they were in a profession that it did not matter what they looked like, how they dressed, and it's changed, that's for sure. But, business people once told, you see in a lot of business books, they go, you'd be surprised at how many not attractive people, because they dress and look as best as possible, make themselves look better than they really do. If you're going just by standards of a beauty pageant kind of standard. So if you start paying attention to who you think's attractive, down in Orange County, everybody dresses for success. And I started looking at people after hearing that info, and not being mean, but it's you know what? You're not as attractive as you look. It's basically in my own mind. I didn't tell him to.
I was like, what are you walking around just bursting people's bubbles?
Yeah.
You're not as hot as you think you are, lady.
Which I only do so that I don't have to make myself feel less than them. I can go, oh, all right. We're probably on the same scale or more closer than I thought we were.
Why didn't you tell them that? Just crap on others to make yourself feel better about yourself.
There is a strategy.
Don't do that.
That is a strategy, Steve, that people use. I can't, endorse it, but it is used.
But going back to what Steve said, wear something that you're comfortable in, because I have a friend who went down to Orange County and she looks nothing like what you would picture. She's not the tall, blonde, skinny model type. And she said she got laid so much because of her Birkenstocks and her she was unapologetically herself, Pacific Northwest vibes. And she's like, I told her, oh, we're the pick and slim. She's like, no, I got laid a lot by different dudes. And
that is a different look down here, Vicky. I will say there's something to be said for if you see something you don't normally see, because everybody's blonde and Barbie.
You should put face paint on. Then it's you're a mysterious guy.
Braveheart stuff.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Just I'll wear a mask.
And wear a mask at that point. Just have all the confidence in the world.
One thing I always notice too is and I know it's super getting whatever, super stoner talk, but more often than not, your insecurities, no one else is even paying attention. You kind of just put it on yourself. He says having all these esteem issues. I feel like most people, there's idiots in the world, but most people are just in their own world and they're trying to deal with their own crap. It's like that at the gym. I was so insecure when I first started going, and I started realizing, nobody's paying attention to anything that I'm doing unless I grunt really weird. And that's still even people won't even, at this point, there's so many weird grunters that I think it doesn't even matter. But everyone's kind of focused on their own crap. that you get so bogged down by worrying what other people think, and they're not even thinking about you.
And it's funny, too, to think about, like, a lot of times, like, you'll see somebody post a picture of, like, a selfie or whatever, and you think, like, oh, that's a really good picture. And then their caption is something like, sorry, my hand looks so big. And it's like, I wasn't even, like, paying attention to that. Like, but you brought attention to it. And it's like, because that's what they're seeing in the picture. And it's like, oh, yeah, I forget people have issues.
Oh, you didn't see my comment. I put hashtag Bobby Big Hands.
That's fair, yeah.
And they didn't like that.
No.
Hashtag Bobby Big Hands. Sounds like a great radio. Bobby Big Hands with you on a Friday night.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit Max.com. Nobody said adulting would be easy. Between work, family, chores, and activities, life can get real messy real fast. Good thing there's Simple Green All-Purpose Cleaner. Simple Green tackles even the toughest cleanup jobs in every room of your house. Simple Green has been a trusted cleaning brand for nearly 50 years, and it's now available in both lemon and lavender scents. So you get a cleaner that not only works hard, but leaves your home smelling fresh. Even better, Simple Green All-Purpose Cleaner is U.S. EPA Safer Choice certified for use around people, pets, and plants. Stronger, safer, fresher. That's the cleaning experience we all want, right? When life gets messy, Simple Green gets it clean. This stuff literally removes dirt, grease, and stains from any washable surface in your home. Visit simplegreen.com today to view their complete product lineup and discover where to buy in your area.
Invest in your future at Columbia College. Take that next step toward the career you've been dreaming of. From a leader in online learning for over 20 years, make a difference in your future with a degree from Columbia College. Learn more at yourfuture.ccis.edu.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. Michelle is calling from Kenmore. Michelle, you are on The Rock.
Hey, guys. What's up?
Hi, Michelle. Welcome to the show. What you got for us?
Hey, I just have to say, you're always dogging on Dion's. Dion's is the best.
Thank you.
I'm from Albuquerque.
What is
this? No politicians.
Let her speak.
Yeah, let her speak, BJ. She's speaking truth.
No, I mean, seriously. Don't tell me some politician's going to convince me otherwise. Nobody's going to say jack about Dion's and live. You know what I'm saying?
You're willing to shank somebody for Dion's?
I like this, actually. That's awesome.
Hello, this is...
I feel like we talk more about Dion's Pizza than any radio station or any media outlet in Albuquerque does.
Agreed. Yeah. No one talks about it.
Oh, my gosh. My heart, just the first time I ever heard you guys talking about Dion's, I was like, oh, I love Dion's. Oh, my gosh.
That's pretty much the reaction you're going to get from any
Michelle,
actual Albuquerque, and not like Al from Albuquerque, all right?
Michelle, I'm
trying to question Al from Albuquerque.
Come on,
now.
Al. Yeah. I think he was a fake listener. I think that was BJ's friend from somewhere.
It's probably his hairstylist.
That's fair.
I just have one question for Michelle. How long have you had bad taste?
Wow. You know what? Don't listen to this slander, Michelle.
I mean... Someone wants to get shanked? Is that what we just said?
Okay, then. Well, you know what? I feel like apparently we're getting a call from prison, and as soon as Michelle gets out, we know what's going to happen.
BJ, how about this texter suggested that for $8 you can make a verified Dion's Pizza account and then totally trash it, and then for another $8 you can make a Danny verified account and have him trash Dion's Pizza. Seems like a good use of $16 if you ask me.
You know, that is a very good use of $16. Texter, I applaud your ingenuity. We probably need to get that done.
What if that's the whole thing that Elon's doing? He created all this drama, and now people are buying the verified accounts so that they can create dummy accounts to prove that what he's doing is dumb, but he's getting their money while they're trying to prove that he's dumb.
I think it's pretty genius. I have to say, that man has been laughing all the way to the bank for a while.
He's playing chess. We're all playing checkers.
Yeah, that's it.
Clearly.
Ah, yeah.
Son of a bitch.
And we're all getting basically force-fed Dion's Pizza when really we want something much better.
I need to try Dion's Pizza now.
Yeah, I know. Let's go.
Well, I mean, it's not that easy.
I know. Let's get in the car. We'll drive there. It's only a 22-hour drive.
I bought Danny a T-shirt on Kickstarter, or a sweatshirt that would store pizza, and he still hasn't brought Dion's with us. And he usually claimed that they wouldn't let him bring it on.
I'm not going to do that because then it's also going to be terrible pizza by the time it sits on a 4-hour plane ride.
You think they would mail us a pizza?
You would think so,
and then we could reheat it.
Well, they do the
he said
the pizza kits, but I need to figure out how to bring those.
We do like a bag, and probably could bring it.
Well,
you got to figure out how to
because you have to do the freezer bags because you don't want the dough to go bad.
I have no idea. Oh, you mean you do it from scratch? It's not even a take and bake.
Yeah.
Oh, they should have like a take and bake thing at least where you can just bring a box home.
Yes, I'm sure they're going to let me on the plane with that.
Why wouldn't they? I mean, they let you on the plane with all kinds of food.
Well, full on pizza though.
Okay, yeah, they have pizza restaurants at an airport. Dan, have you been to an airport? Have you ever?
No.
All right.
No, Danny takes a train everywhere.
I do.
Yeah. Oh, right. At the train station, they do not let you bring any food. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Hey, I'd like to continue this conversation, but Mike is on.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, so Mike in Covington, you are on the rock. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
You are, buddy. What's up? What you got?
So look, I'm hearing all this pizza talk, and I'm going to tell you, there is no better slice of pizza in the world than a pizza place in Vegas that doesn't even have a name.
Oh, is it the hidden pizza place?
Yes, at the Cosmopolitan. When you go and check in, they tell you, hey, here's all this great stuff, and here's this, and here's that. And they go, and you might want to check out this little spot right here. And it has no name. It's just an empty little square on the map. And you walk down this long hallway of LPs, 45 LPs, all the covers along the wall.
What?
And you get back there, and there's this little hole in the wall, and it is the best pizza I've ever put in my mouth.
Really?
And it has no name.
No name.
There's no name.
I think it's called.
No, you gotta go. You gotta go to the Cosmopolitan. You say, hey, I heard there's a hidden pizza place.
Well, we don't got to go. We know exactly. Vicky's showing us pictures. They actually have it on the internet where they show you the wall of LPs that you described. So we know how to get there.
It's actually really not that hard to find either.
And honestly,
it's not. No, it's not. But there's no name, and it's like I said on the map. It's just a square.
Yeah, the last time I went to Vegas asking for some secret pie, I got arrested. So I don't know.
Hey, yo. But you know what? It was the best secret pie you've ever had. All right, Mike, tell us where you've been, where you've had pizza because to say it's the best pizza you ever had, like if you've only had frozen pizza from the supermarket, okay, that makes sense.
No.
Where have you had
Let
pizza?
me tell you this. I have tried. Okay, well, first of all, I travel a lot for work. My wife and I travel a lot.
I don't care about that. I want to know where you've been. What have you had? Name me a place.
So, Wicked Pie in Puyallup is amazing.
I agree. It's so damn good.
All right.
Okay.
Your wife and I travel. So you and your wife travel to Puyallup. I know that's a long.
No.
Haul. You're right.
There's another place called This Guy's Pies.
Where's that?
He was the original pizza guy at the Cosmopolitan. He created that little place.
Okay, where's that place that with the original team?
That's in Vegas too. He branched off and went into this little strip mall.
Have you been to New York at all? Because those New York people think they got good pizza.
So I've been, and I can't remember the name of the place in Chicago. They got really good deep dish.
Probably DiGiorno's.
No, it's Giordano's.
Giordano's, yes.
DiGiorno's.
Anyway,
I was making a joke.
There used to be a place in Atlanta called the Smoking Monkey. And
we got Steve also got arrested there looking for secret pie.
I was looking for a down under smoking monkey, and it didn't go well.
All right, so he's named some places, and he still says that the Vegas one. All right, Mike, we'll contemplate this.
And those guys' pies was on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, the one he was talking about in Vegas. All right, so then it's not so secret. Then we know exactly.
Well, this one's not the secret one. This is the.
I mean, it's those guys' pies guy.
Yeah.
So all right, so we've uncovered the secret.
Well, the secret pizza place really isn't. I mean,
it's not a secret.
They make it seem like it's super hard, but if you go to the Cosmopolitan, first off, everyone is there for that reason, and then secondly, it's pretty obvious that's
it's the gimmick. It's the gimmick that they have.
Can I just say
it's
this?
All right.
Can I just say my son, who was the king of Vegas, did not take his father there, did he?
Joe, do you know about this place?
I do know about this place. It's quite good.
What about your father, who we went to Vegas and you didn't take him to you? Your father likes pizza.
Okay, Mr. Victim. You hung out with me for 3 hours on one night and then refused to talk to me for the rest of the convention.
Mr. Victim.
Yeah. Well, listen, first off,
probably
refuse is
the
a
greatest
strong
nickname
word.
ever.
Refuse is a strong word. I just avoided you. That wasn't refusal. I just was conveniently going, oh, here comes Joe. I got to get out of here.
Mr. Victim.
I am Mr. Victim. Thank you very much. I'll be posting my manifesto. And it is Listeners on the Loose, where it has been determined that Dion's pizza is horrible. Michelle has bad taste.
Nope.
And those are the things we've discovered today. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Speaking of food, someone just texted in. Guys, have you ever thought about the first person that ever made popcorn and how they were probably freaking out?
Oh.
Why do I feel like Sun did it? I feel like they saw it popping in the real hot day out there peeling the corn or whatever.
I think about that sometimes, like not exactly the popcorn one, but that definitely is something like where it's like, who's the first? I would love like a documentary on these. Like, who figured out that, if I prop this and peel it, there's a banana inside of it, like, and it's edible and it's delicious.
Or saw cow udder and it's like, bet there's something good in there.
All these things. Like
Stoner conversation.
It is 100% a stoner conversation. But yeah, like the popcorn one, it's like, corn is delicious. I wonder if there's other ways to enjoy this corn.
If you heat it up, what happens?
Right. Well, you have to dry it out first.
Yeah.
I don't even know where like how this all goes. Like I am completely clueless as to how popcorn is made.
Like how would I know that you could double down on the same food and have something completely different happen?
Yeah, and so I am. Yeah, I don't, because I have as a decoration those little corn husks that are dry and whatever, and like Steve said, they're dry and hard. Wait, what?
According to
Wikipedia.
popcornforthepeople.com, it says that the oldest popcorn known to date was found in New Mexico.
Oh my gosh, because they were so tired of that crappy pizza. That makes sense.
Like anything.
They were willing to eat anything.
Oh, yeah. Quick, dry the corn. It's more delicious.
Yeah. Somebody's offering us some of that pizza. Oh, here comes Dan with the pizza. Come on, get the... Yeah.
Do we know when?
They say it's approximately 5,600 years old.
Oh, so is it because it was hot, maybe?
Well, someone says popcorn is a different type of cob than the one that we eat.
Oh. Because at some point you have to put it on heat. So in New Mexico, it gets hot sometimes, Danny? Did I hear that about New Mexico?
I mean, not as hot as Phoenix, so that's kind of surprising. But
well, Phoenix maybe didn't have corn.
No,
they didn't invent corn in Phoenix.
It was a giant happy accident.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess
I feel like that's what it always is.
They discovered it in a bat cave. Funny
enough. Bat cave?
Right, discovered on top of popcorn being discovered in the bat cave in New Mexico.
What are you reading?
Popcornforthepeople.com. Aren't you subscribed to this?
Popcorn.
Holy happy husks, Batman. Look at that.
Is it Friday yet?
I wish.
Well, would you like some popcorn, old chum? This all sounds wrong, man. And the bat, so you got bat guano all over the joint, and somehow people go, hey, I'll try that over there. I'm going to eat that.
And then this little crazy thing pops, and your first thought was, I should try eating this.
And also, it's like, I feel like bat caves are cold, and you need heat to make the corn pop.
I haven't been in a bat cave.
Unless that's where they stored all their food. After they harvested it and everything, because it's nice and cold, keeps it fresh.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But how does that turn into popcorn? You need
turn
heat
into
to make
popcorn first, and then
there's got to be a documentary on YouTube about the history of popcorn.
Wait, Vicky, if it was found in a cave, that's where they found it. So therefore, that's what I'm saying. How did they make it in the cave if it's cold?
I already explained. They didn't. They found it many, many years later. Doesn't mean somebody didn't put it there.
Oh, wow. So you're saying a bunch of people made popcorn, threw it in a cave, and then years later somebody found the cave. Yeah. All right. So then popcorn has different origins. It's just we first found it in the cave. Why am I listening to Vicky? Because she's only reading Wikipedia anyway.
Yeah. That was your call. Oh, no. I'm looking at, there's a documentary on it called The History of Popcorn. Thankfully, it's only 6 minutes long because I was like, man, I don't know if I can invest 40 minutes of my life to watching a whole documentary on this. But it's broken up into different little key moments on YouTube. And it's like, where does it come from? The next thing says the Bat Cave of New Mexico.
Oh.
Yeah, I get that's where it comes from, but I don't understand how it was how it has enough heat unless some of those caves are hot.
The best part is in this documentary they cut quickly to a clip of the old Batman television show and they start talking about that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, well.
It's older than sliced bread. And Jesus, according to this documentary.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like sliced bread was there was bread first.
Yes,
Wow.
Fun fact, they used to use popcorn without any butter or salt as cereal.
Who did?
People. I was on one of those episodes of Good Eats with Alton Brown.
People were eating popcorn like for breakfast with milk and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I could go for that because it gets wicked. I mean, popcorn, once it gets water on it, is horrible.
I mean,
it was soggy popcorn? Really?
People did it.
The hell's wrong with those people? I could see them maybe having it for breakfast as a breakfast food, but putting milk on it? Ugh. All right. Well, hey, I don't think we've solved anything, but I do have another.
Check out Dark History on Spotify. They have a whole episode about popcorn. People died for popcorn.
Well, I know that Michelle is going to shank me for pizza, so it makes sense that people were really violent back in those days.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. If I file for bankruptcy, do I have to appear in court? That makes me nervous.
Going to court is never something that's easy to do. However, when you file bankruptcy, you usually only have to attend one hearing at the courthouse. Of course, I'll be there with you. And when you go to court, it's not before the judge. It's actually with the trustee or the trustee's attorney. One of the things that's critical in a bankruptcy is that you give your attorney in the court all of your information. You list all of your assets and all of your creditors. That's what we're trading for your discharge, is your true and honest disclosure of your assets and liabilities. And so the court hearing is just usually about a 5-minute deal where you show up and reaffirm and swear that all the information you've given the court and your attorney is correct.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.